There is 100 plus cell cameras being run by this table. Probably more than that.
I have 50 of just myself. So.
On 30 acres?
No.
Oh, okay.
How many are you running?
Probably approaching 30.
We're at like 20 something.
Across several states.
We're at 100.
Yeah.
But I probably have 50 non-cells in 3 different states.
I didn't include non-cells. There was a time in my life where like any extra $100 I had, I bought a camera.
Same.
So
every Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? Trail
Cameras,
cams. That's
yeah.
it.
All right, guys.
Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave it.
All right, guys. Deer Shop Podcast, episode 111. Today is the Creators Roundtable. We have Born Again Matt, Aaron Olson, Isaac Simon, and the not so washed up anymore myself, Caleb Simon. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
A long time no see for both of you. I was at Aaron's house today buying tree stands, and I spent all last weekend with Matt. So
it's good.
I haven't seen Isaac at all. What's going on, Isaac?
Chilling.
He's rocking the pink phone.
I'm
today.
pretty envious of all the people that were out west or are out west right now.
Yeah, so we have Uncle Jay's out west, Matt Pavlik's out west, Dylan Horner and his crew's out west. We're watching Seek 1 hunt out west on the TV.
Technically, Jay's west, but he's also very north.
Yeah, Kasic's already been out west this year. Seth was out west. We had a lot of people we know already go or are out there right now.
Kevin just got back.
Kevin, oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw his update.
He ate an entire tray of
Instagram.
Oreos on the ride home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. Are you guys going to have him on the pod to talk about it?
The next podcast should be about it.
Very excited.
Definitely going to tune in that one. I didn't listen to your podcast this week.
Well, yeah, because you lived it.
You were on it. I listened to it, actually. It was good.
You haven't listened to ours, though.
No. Well, ours came out today. I haven't had time today.
I'm sorry I didn't cook you guys dinner.
Yeah, what the
Aaron,
heck?
I know when you go down to Matt's and do a podcast there, they like have a spread for you guys.
I think it was like 3 or 4 courses.
Yeah, it always
cookies.
is.
Yeah, no,
They supply
listen
the
to
drinks.
this.
I think
So,
sent me a goodie bag to go home with.
Caleb the first time he came over, I told him we were going to cook for him. And like he made some comment of like pizza and wings or something. And I took offense to that because we cook for the boys.
I mean, you had a pork chop that was about as hard as a
Well,
rock.
that was the second time. the pork chop was a bad deal.
Nah, it was cool.
I remember the first time we came down, we didn't know you guys very well, and we're like, do we bring beer? Do we not bring beer?
Oh yeah, you could have brought beer.
I drank 15 Arnold Palmers instead.
Yeah, I was like buzzing on the way home from the sugar. I never drink that much sugar. I was buzzing, but we'll cook you guys dinner. So we cook everyone dinner when we do the deer shop.
Yeah, I was to
party,
say
so
the deer shop will be good enough.
Yeah, it's coming up in
Are
a
you
couple
guys
weeks.
doing tacos again, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Isaac informed
Same.
me he's not going to be there till it starts. So
I'll be there. Just I won't be able
When
to.
is it
No,
again?
but I'm going to have to cook everything Friday before deer season,
26th.
26th.
Okay.
I invited Aaron today. He's going to be too cool. He's going to be
We'll see. 50-50.
public land camping somewhere south, possibly, which is actually
You never know.
Yeah, his thing. So there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't want it to be my thing. It just is my thing right now out of necessity.
We're definitely going to talk about that tonight.
All right.
I got that thing queued up on the tee box is one of the things we're going to talk about for sure. If you're watching or listening, it's September 22nd at the time of listening, which means we are 5 days away from Ohio opening.
5 days.
5 days. When they're listening to this podcast, Ohio will be 5 days
Are
away
you
from
sure?
opening.
A week from now, it's 22nd already.
Yeah, dog.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Yeah. September's over.
September's
That
over.
makes me really nervous, to be honest.
Yeah, our food plots are all dead. It's like they're all dead.
There's
So are the
just
deer.
not been rain
Yikes.
falling from the sky in weeks.
And there's nothing in like the 10-day either.
If you're listening, that means Deer Camp Chronicles Season 3, Episode 1 is live. So go check that out. If you're listening to this podcast or watching on YouTube, the Deer Camp Chronicles is back. But tonight, we're going to beat to death all the topics in hunting that are prevalent right now. Bow hunting, social media, all the stuff. We've kind of been talking about doing this podcast all summer. We just, everyone now has babies and
Aaron's
houses
been bailing
and
on us.
marriages and trips, and it's just been crazy. But
Here we are.
we are here. We have made it. Just so everyone knows, Aaron, Next Step Outdoors, Matt, Born Again Bow Hunting, me and Isaac, Siman Brothers Outdoors. We're going to have some differing opinions tonight, I'm sure. We're probably going to have a lot that we agree on, but it should be a lot of fun. There's going to be some things that I can't wait to talk about, to be honest.
I'm excited. You've been talking up this podcast for a long
Well,
time.
I made the list of things like 4 minutes ago, so like it's not.
Yeah,
that
but it was
much of a
fresh
list.
in your
He's
mind.
been working on this for months.
Yeah.
I wish. I've been working on editing videos for the last month. A lot of video editing. How's your video editing going?
There's nothing to There's nothing to edit. The hunts have been slow and uneventful. So back to it though.
So you're fully caught up from last year. Everything was posted. Live,
Yeah, I posted
basically?
everything in real time last year. There was a couple late season hunts that I haven't made any. The footage didn't turn out that great.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't kill anything, so I'll probably just use some of that footage in future videos. But yeah, otherwise all caught up.
Well, what'll make it even better is when you kill them this year, and then you can show the footage from last year.
I sure hope so.
Tie it all together.
That's what I'm going for.
I like having the videos come out kind of live. I know it kind of puts you behind the 8 ball a little bit. So like my velvet hunt's going to be 3 weeks after it actually happened, but I wouldn't be. It's hard for me to sit on footage for a year unless it's like one. Like our bear hunts and stuff. We've kind of sat on them because you get back from it, and it's like we might as well wait till next year to put this out. But when it comes to deer hunting, I like to just
Especially the Western stuff. It's almost impossible to do it real time because most guys are, once October hits, like nobody cares about Western stuff anymore.
and to put together. When we go out west, like that bear hunt.
That's a lot of footage.
My POV camera, Isaac's POV camera, Jay's POV camera, my main camera, Isaac's main camera. So 5 cameras,
phone scopes as well.
phone scopes.
Imagine if we would have saw animals.
all that B-roll.
How much harder that would
An
have been.
hour of B-roll to put together into a film's tough,
So I was going to ask, you basically, talking to Aaron here, when you're making a final product, you kind of want a full video, full story, like when you're, because ours is a little different. Our strategy is like if we make a video, it's like we make a video of a trip, whether we saw a deer, killed deer, anything like that. Do you kind of wait for success almost, I guess I should say?
No, I mean, I'd like to have something to show that's not just me sitting in a tree not seeing deer. I mean, I basically put out a film last year for my North Dakota trip, and there wasn't a lot of deer sightings, a lot of struggle. It's still a good story, but there's no climax at the end of it. But I mean, I like to have some. I mean, even if it's a miss, I like to have something to show. But definitely doesn't have to. I mean, even a cool encounter. But there's plenty of trips that nothing that exciting happens. No good encounters are documented, and some of those don't always make it into their own videos, at least.
Because we have to do our own videos, or we'd have 1 or 2 videos a year if we waited to be fully successful.
I like the good encounter videos, like good build up, like you have a really good hunt and then the aftermath. Like to me, for what we put together, you can make that work. People like to see that kind of thing.
It's a weird thing for us. Our most successful videos are usually ones we don't kill on. It's usually the ones that show the story. Maybe we had a miss. The one video we have now that keeps chugging is Nick's miss from last year.
Yeah.
That thing
It
is
was
getting
170-inch
crazy.
deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it got whacked during a gun season deer drive. Can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's start off simple, nothing too controversial. Let's talk about baiting and corn right off the rip.
Oh my, we're getting right into it.
Well, it's funny because I know a lot of the audience, a lot of the people that listen to our podcast, I'm sure they do bait.
Oh,
If there are any, if there are any of the Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia people, I'm sure they're baiting. And then we also have audience members, and they love to chime in. Oh, it's cheating. You can't do that here in Missouri. So like it's cheating. So we've talked about it obviously to death in our podcasts with other people and stuff. We've talked about it in our videos. We have talked about it in our group chats. We've talked about it over text messaging. But here in Ohio, everyone is baiting.
yep.
No matter what. I don't know anybody who hunts deer that doesn't bait.
Yeah, I don't think I know a soul. I don't know if you guys can share on that.
Did
That
you
is
guys-
baiting to some capacity.
Well, public landers obviously is a different story, but there's a lot of bait
Probably
on
plenty
public
of them
land.
doing it too.
There's a ton of bait on public
Yeah.
land.
I was
Even the
gonna
most
say,
hardcore public land hunters still have their 5 acres somewhere they're baiting.
Yeah. No,
All of us.
no, I agree.
Did you guys see? There's like a new group forming. Like I can't remember the name of it. Ohio.
Activist or something like that.
Yeah,
It's the
some
guy with Javen Mullet. Or
Yeah.
the group with Javen Mullet.
and Skip Sly or
Skip
whatever
Sly,
just
yeah.
was the head or the keynote speaker at that. And I didn't listen to all of it, but I listened to a good portion of it, and he addressed all of this. He's basically this guy from Iowa who I think he buys and sells a lot of farms, but he's very passionate about advocating for quality hunting because he's experienced it enough. He's from Michigan originally, and he's experienced the bad side of things. He thinks Michigan's as poorly managed as it could possibly be, which also being from Michigan, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And he's basically trying to help other states advocate for better hunting like Iowa has, and shared all the positives of how Iowa runs things and why why it would work here and benefit everybody. And his stance on baiting was it's strong, like he has a strong belief that it's terrible, and there was a lot of good reasons for it. And beyond he explained it very well, because I hear the argument a lot, well, you have food plots, that's the same thing as baiting, and I haven't really had a great rebuttal to that, but it is very, very different, and he did a really good job of explaining it.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually on my list of podcasts to listen to. I just haven't checked it out yet.
This guy was on Hunter a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Skip Sly.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen the group, but I know that there's a
They
push.
met in Millersburg.
Really. There's a big push for that, and I know there's also a big push right now of guys trying to get elk reintroduced to the state. There's been some groups
To Ohio?
forming. Yeah, there's been
I
some
haven't heard
groups
of the
forming
elk.
for that, but
That would be interesting. Where would they put them?
they want to put
Southern
them down
Ohio.
south. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's the only. I mean,
still super
Shawnee,
populated,
Wayne National
though.
Forest. Like that's the only thing that will support a herd, if it will even support a herd.
Because I don't have a lot of experience down there besides deer hunting a few times in Adams County and stuff like that, or Morgan County.
we did a lot of Morgan and Knox and Guernsey.
But they don't have the terrain like West Virginia and PA where those elk live. Like,
Southern Ohio, you get into some tracks in like Wayne National and Shawnee. It's pretty rugged. I mean, it's not West Virginia rugged, but it's pretty rugged.
Yeah, and I
people
guess
shooting
what
elk over corn piles.
well, what West Virginia has is just the vast areas
Coal
where there's
mines.
nobody. You know, like there's no houses for 20, 30, 40 square miles, and Ohio doesn't have that anywhere.
Same with PA. Like
Yeah.
they have some big stretches of wilderness area.
Yeah.
They're also talking about trying to move to a draw here in Ohio, which is interesting. As a resident, like selfishly now, it's like, oh, that's fine. Be less non-residents or a certain amount of non-residents, and I think a lot of states are moving that direction. But
I think it's a great idea personally. Not to get off the baiting thing,
No,
but
there's no rules.
I
tonight.
think the non-resident limiting non-residents I think is a great idea. Even though that I understand that non-residents make up 70% of the revenue or whatever the stat is, but here's the thing: double the cost.
I'd pay
tags.
more.
Yeah, double the cost and tags, and just make it a lottery like Kansas, where it's like every other year you draw. You're still going to make the same revenue. Guys are still going to buy tags because it's Ohio. And then hold up. Long term, it's going to make the hunting even better because, Caleb, you and I have argued about this a bunch. A lot of times when you go out of state, most guys' standards go from, say at home, their standards a 4 or 5 year old 140-inch plus. Well, when they go out of state, maybe their goal is that for the first couple of days, but towards the end of the trip, first 2-year-old or 3-year-old that walks by is getting hammered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like...
We've all been there.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it. We've all done it.
We've all done. Everyone at this table's done it.
So it's like, I don't see any issues at all. I mean, heck, we went to Kentucky and we paid, what, $400 and some dollars?
412 or 9 or something.
And Ohio's what, $200?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys.
And it would depend on how the state does it compared to other states, because I know Iowa does it in zones where you have to draw certain zones, and some zones take 5 points, some take 2. Montana does it to where you can draw every second year because you need 2 points to draw. But they're outfitters, so if you go in with an outfitter on private land, you automatically get those 2 points. And I could see Ohio doing something like that too, to appease.
Which would suck
outfitters.
balls.
That
and
would,
I would
that
hate
would
that.
not be good.
So I hunt in Montana on public land try to go every 2 years. So you can draw the tag every 2 or 3 years. But if you go on private land, you can automatically draw it every year because
Because the outfitter gets the...
they give you those points.
They
if
give you the
go.
points.
And that gives people like our buddy the power to have more people come in and just ruin the local hunting.
Yeah, because you sell the hunt and you just tell them, oh, you have to go apply with the state. This is the outfitter code you use, and you automatically get drawn.
Oh,
You know, I would,
And the way Ohio works, they probably do something like
you know, and if they went to that, if they went to something like that,
sorry, I was trying to kill that moth.
I would, you know, I know that we're not going to be able to ban outfitters. We're not going to be able to, you know, and they have a right if they spend the money and do the things that they do. But I would like to see some type of regulation put in on how many deer they're allowed to kill per acre. Per
Like you're
property.
saying the outfitters have like a quota.
Yeah, because you know when you have an outfitter that completely, we are firsthand. Both me and Matt and Isaac have all been around an outfitter that depleted the local resource.
What did they kill in 1 year? Like
They killed a
100?
total of 47 bucks over a 2-year period.
Is that what it was?
47 known bucks. Like
Yeah.
that's not unrecovered. That's not you
close.
know
No,
bucks
I get
that you know bucks that you know. Oh, we didn't hit them, but they actually did. You know, like it was 47 recovered
Wow.
bucks in 2 years. And like there has to be some common sense laws there. Like that should not be allowed,
Yeah.
especially on only 500 acres or 600 acres or less. If guys
Or
have
less.
less, like there should be an acreage to buck limit for the
Yeah, like a
outfitter.
quota.
Yeah,
Well, I think it would just be smart to, hey, outfitter X, you have X amount of acres,
you get this many tags.
you get this many tags.
Right.
You know,
And that's how it works a lot. I'm going to bring up the West a lot because they've kind of been dealing with this issue for 20 years in Ohio and the East Coast and stuff. Dealing with outfitters is kind of a newer thing for us. And out West, certain landowners get so many tags depending on how many acres they have and then what zone and what unit they're in. And I think Ohio could learn from that. So if someone leases 1,500 acres, they only get 12 buck tags or something of some ratio. Of that
Obviously,
nature.
the zone would be based off of, you know, in my opinion, it would be based off of how much public land access there is, you know, because, like, so what I'm getting at is, like, southeastern Ohio would probably be...
Got it.
Got him. Would probably be, like, zone 5 or 6, like in Iowa, because it has, south central, southeast, because you have Shawnee, Wayne National. Like, but up around us, like, say,
Quit
northeastern.
spot burning, dude. Those are my spots.
Yeah, they're...
There's only 3 in the whole state.
Yeah, they're 80,000 acres. But what I'm getting at is like northeastern Ohio. I mean, you might have a couple hundred acres here, a couple hundred acres there, but there's nothing. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would. I don't know.
We've talked about this stat in the past. Public land is being utilized by residents more nowadays than non-residents. I don't know if you guys have had that same experience hunting public land. Are you running into people from Ohio or
Aaron would know
outstaters?
more about it.
Around Ohio, definitely people local to the state. There's plenty of non-residents too, but out of state, it's a mixed bag. I'd say out of state.
When
I've
do you think
experienced
that
more.
the out-of-staters move in? Like late October, early November?
I think opening weekend, you're definitely gonna get people coming from Michigan. PA opens the same. No, PA's not open
PA
until
opens-
October 5th, I think. So PA people probably come.
Yeah.
Kentucky's open, so they're probably all hunting their home states.
We asked down there when we were in Kentucky. We asked the guy selling tags, like what states have you sold to? He's like Maryland, New Hampshire, Indiana, Ohio, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina.
Yeah. See, I was
That
further
just at
south.
The
It
one
was
Walmart we went to.
I was further south, and it was Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi. I mean, everybody was from the south.
All those people coming up.
Yeah.
So that group you were talking about, not to interrupt, but that group you were talking about, I saw that there was guys on there wanting
What group?
the advocacy
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
I saw something along the lines of everybody wants. There was guys saying that every single state in the union, like all of them, should be draws for non-residents, and they should have the system set up
for it. I'm for it, honestly.
to properly make the money and limit the resource. But here's the problem: Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania is doing better, but West Virginia, they don't care about trophy class hunting. It's about managing the deer population. Have you seen a deer? Did you kill a buck? You check those boxes, they're satisfied.
Ohio's the
You
same
know,
way. Like,
right.
I mean, we could argue that they don't care either.
Yeah, I have Ohio definitely lumped into that group of states that they don't care that people are trying to see 140-inch 5-year-olds. To them, that means nothing.
Yeah.
It's did you see a buck bigger than 6 points? Did you kill a buck?
And,
Did you have a good experience?
Yeah, and they want to just kill deer. I mean,
Right.
it's not rocket science to know that, you know, the ODNR, their biggest dilemma is, you know, they're getting pushback from the Farm Bureau, and then they're getting pushback from like insurance companies, and they just need us to kill deer, but we're not killing deer. We're not killing enough deer because nobody shoots enough does, and everybody wants to kill that big buck, but, it's give and take.
Isn't EHD just doing that and just taking care of it? Now we can move into the regulations to control for
It's funny.
age
It's like a
class.
hard reset.
Yeah, up here in the metro parks, they're still shooting deer at night, but down in Washington County, they're trying to stop the season because there's no deer left, and they're both in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Did you ever look into that? Not to go down another
So
rabbit hole?
I did. I searched Ohio Whitetail Hunters, Ohio Whitetail Hunters 2, and I checked the ODNR. I didn't see nothing. There is a group of guys with a petition going around. And they have a lot of signatures, and they're trying to get hunting banned. Not banned. They're trying to get hunting canceled this year in Washington County.
Yeah.
Which they're never going to do that because there is still plenty of deer in Washington County. There's just certain areas that are completely wiped.
Yeah, I wondered about that because you look at that map, the one the ODNR posts every 2 weeks or whatever. It's scary, the dark red is.
Our farm's right in the middle of it.
But when you look at that, it becomes dark red if they found
I think 50.
50 dead deer. There is how many deer in Washington County? 100,000.
The other day,
So they found 0.0001% in order to make it dark red. So how bad is it really?
That's a good point.
the other day this is not exactly the same because we're not in Washington County here, but I was doing my last road scout of the season, driving around looking for deer. There was a hay field like a mile and a half from here, maybe a little bit farther, maybe like a mile and 3/4.
I know which hayfield that is.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the one that we always check. It was on the other side of town.
Okay.
It had 37 does in it. 37. I sat there and counted 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 37. Not a single rack buck. I drove around the corner here to our farm. The one field had 18 in it, and then my cell camera had 9 at the same time. So I in that 1.5 mile area, I laid eyes on and/or at the same exact time had pictures of 60 does, not including any bucks or a doe that wasn't in one of those 3 fields.
Yeah,
Wow.
5
So
square
the deer
miles.
numbers are way higher than what these experts think.
They tell us there's 10 deer per square mile. Or whatever
There's
there
10
is.
deer within view of this house.
I got
right
10 deer in
now.
my backyard.
So yeah, it's all a guesstimate from the ODNR standpoint, I guess.
But to their point, or I should, I don't know, devil's advocate. I live not even 20 minutes from you guys, and I don't see those numbers.
Why is that?
I,
Your habitat is better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more
it's
crop,
better.
more ag.
I have no idea. I think it's just.
Are they pocketed?
I mean, I have a decent amount of deer on my place, and by decent I mean 10 or so. But
10?
But yeah, when I moved into that place, 3 or 4.
Do you think it's because of the Amish? Not to be that guy, but do
Yeah,
you think the Amish kill a disproportionate amount of deer in your area?
I think well, here's the thing. I think that each family kills 1 or 2 doe because they want the meat. And I think that they just do it I have my buck to doe ratio is absolutely fantastic. I have
Ours is bad.
I have more bucks on camera than I do does. And that's the God honest truth. I'll have say I've got 10 bucks. That's just an easy number. If I have 10 bucks on camera, I'll have 3 does on camera. But now granted my bucks aren't giants because I think it's the area that I'm in as well. First 3-year-old 120
Yeah.
gets smacked, but
I'm sorry, I didn't mean you keep going.
no, you're good. All I was getting at is it's in pockets because you guys have 100 deer on your farm for easy math. I have 10 deer on mine. Now, granted, you have more acreage, but my 30 acres might have 10 deer at one time, and that's and that's because I've done so much work to get them there.
So do you think maybe those, not to talk shit about the Amish, but do you think they're going out and just shooting deer for sustenance every once in a while?
I truly,
Not really following season or laws? Or,
I think some of them do, but that's same with English. You could argue that we have got buddies and we know of people. I shouldn't even say buddies, but we know of people that spotlight. I think the biggest thing is you and I don't go out we don't have to shoot for meat.
No, God no.
We'll shoot a doe or 2 every year just because for 1 it's fun and for 2 we enjoy the meat, but we don't need it. I truly think the reason why the deer population is so bad around me is because the Amish truly they
if they don't shoot a deer this week, they're not eating any red meat for the next 2 weeks.
Yep,
because
exactly.
They don't have deep freezers with beef in them.
Exactly.
Some of the families. It depends on the family.
Some of them, yeah. But and the other thing is most people are going to think of Amish. I live in an area where the Amish are the Swartzen troopers, I think. So they're the slum, and that's actually what they call them, the slum Amish.
What are they called?
slum.
No. What were they
Their
called?
last name is
Schwarzentrooper. So like that's the clan.
Those are the guys from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Aaron, you don't know anything about
Stormtroopers.
popular culture in our limited texting over the last year.
So these aren't the Millersburg running
No.
fancy shops Amish that have
No,
nice.
they don't have the electric bikes. They don't even have lights on their buggies. And they definitely don't have any kind of solar powered generator that has electric in their house. Like all the Amish in Millersburg have outlets in their house and lights and everything. Everything's ran off of solar. These Amish around me still have,
They're
lanterns.
old world. They're
Yeah.
old order.
Yeah.
Old order
Yeah.
Amish.
So
And
I
it
think,
all depends on the church they go to, which governs
Exactly.
the laws that they follow. Rules
but
they follow.
that area is a very strict area.
I got 3 quick things. Thing 1, Isaac, we can probably open up the doors, I would think. Get some air.
It is a little-
Let's
it's
open
a-
up these doors and get some air.
It's a
coming in
little
here.
stuffy.
Thing 2, the Amish that lived by us, and they're no longer by us. We had an Amish family that was living by us.
Like here?
Yeah, we had an Amish family living.
I didn't
very,
realize that.
Yeah, very close to here. And are they still there? And we're friends with some of the family members, and they're probably listening to this podcast right now that jumped the fence for lack of better terms. But
Okay.
I know that they were hunting some farms by us. I know that when they would shoot a deer, like they were using crossbows and stuff. When they would shoot a deer, if it ran out of sight, they wouldn't track it. Because like the farmer, who's a very good friend of ours, would go out there and he would be combining around like 8 carcasses in the field with air
Why wouldn't they go
with
track
bolt
it?
because it's gone. Got away.
What do
So
you-
like I'm telling you, he was combining around carcasses.
So I can add to this story.
in the fields.
I can add to this story a little bit. The family that did this weren't hunters. One of the kids, he's not a kid. He's not really a kid now. He's probably 20.
He didn't know any better.
He became interested in hunting, and he started hunting at a young age, just him by himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a family member come from another village per se,
Village.
but he was doing everything on it. He was doing everything on his own. So this is some young
So
kid.
he thought
And
that
we didn't know about this till after because
Yeah.
I would have gone down there
Taught
and,
him.
well, anything,
Yeah.
because they're close and they're neighbors and we're cool with the family.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it till the farmer, my buddy's like, dude, down at so and so's, I'm driving around. You should see my combine tracks. It's like there's just carcasses in the field with bolts sticking out of them. They're all does.
I mean, just imagine being a 12-year-old kid without social media and without anybody to show you.
Oh,
how to
yeah,
hunt.
he
Like,
would
He's
think-
just out there doing
Yeah,
it.
and he thought that
just
they
living the dream.
fall over dead.
back before we cared what people thought. Damn, I want to go back to that.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
And then my third thing I was going to say, not to harp on you a little bit, Matt, but
Let's hear it.
where you live, yes, your deer density is low, but like I know within X amount of miles that they've killed 220s, 210s, like world record sized deer have been killed within like a 5-minute drive of your house. So like there are genetics in big bucks, but they're pocketed for sure.
I'm not gonna lie on that.
So
I know where the one guy killed the one, and it's not far from my place.
Speaking of Amish killed the one,
that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. The Amish, I know where that deer
and
was
that
killed.
thing was a giant.
And that was like
dude.
220.
Just giant, just an
But
insane giant.
to your point, like I can promise you, I don't have no 220 running around my place. Like I'm gonna be real happy with a 130 to 150 this year. I'd be tickled pink with that. And I just,
Are you hunting your property this year?
yeah.
Curiosity, yeah, because he's got a kid now.
Yep.
He's only hunting his property now.
Yeah. No.
He's reverting to full Siman Brothers now.
Yeah,
He's
no, but-
gonna walk out the back door, shoot the first 4-year-old 120, and be happy with it.
I am challenging myself to either public land this year in Ohio or behind the house. That's my challenge for myself. And the public land thing's probably just going to be some rut hunts if I don't kill behind the house.
I would like to see you kill a nice buck behind your house.
Oh, I would.
I
love
want
it.
that for you.
I would love it.
You're going to be frustrated, I'm sure, with the limited number of deer that you get to look over, basically, because you're hunting such a small area. But the stress and everything is going to be so much less. Because
Oh,
you're
I
not
can't
worrying
wait.
about landowners, you're not worrying about other hunters, you're not worrying about...
I mean, just the 26 people who probably touch your property like ours, but
Actually, I learned from you complaining about that, and when my wife and I bought, one of my biggest factors was I'm not buying next to a bunch of little lots. So actually, my neighbors are significantly larger than me.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm
actually. I'm happy
the,
for you. For
I'm
that.
the small guy.
So
yeah,
you're the guy.
If they start doing the right things, then you could really benefit from it.
Yeah. Well, so I think I talked about this a little bit on my podcast last year. I reached out to 4 out of the 5 neighbors, and 4 out of the 5. No, sorry, I reworded that. I need to reword that. I reached out to 5 of my neighbors that are like either touching or neighbor of a neighbor. 4 out of the 5 are interested in passing 3-year-olds, as in like they verbally said, "Hey, I want to." Now Caleb and I have had this discussion, like, what's a 3-year-old? I don't know if I need to go and show them pictures and be like, "Don't shoot this deer, don't shoot that deer. This deer's a hit list deer," because I just. But then I'm caught in that, like, I don't know how much I can trust neighbors because I don't know if they don't know about that deer, then, and like, to be honest, 1 or 2 of them's an Amish guy, so it's like they don't have cameras.
Oh yeah, they do.
Not those Amish.
Dude, I've been down in some of these Amish shops, and they come out with the print pictures off their trail cameras.
So
Well, I mean, at least they tell me that they're not running cameras, so.
we'll finish up the baiting conversation, which we never even got to. You running bait on the farm in yours?
I'm feeding.
Right now, currently?
Yeah, I'm feeding year round.
Are you feeding right now, Aaron?
Yes.
So I can say with all honesty that we have not dropped corn yet on our farm.
But
I think next Wednesday I'm going to sling.
Yeah.
Like I might sling before the season starts
So-
in my food plots that didn't grow just because I got dirt for them to eat right now and I got to shoot it. I got to do something to draw the deer in, right?
But I
haven't slung any corn yet.
I want to argue. I want to rebuttal. Like,
No, fine.
I said that I'm feeding, which is a big difference between baiting and feeding.
So,
He just wants them coming and living there year round instead of during season.
and I
Yeah.
don't hate that. And we talked about it. We don't have to beat it to death because our audience heard it. Your audience heard it. I hunted over corn last weekend in Kentucky, and I hated every second of it because of how it was going. I'm gonna do something similar probably. I'll probably have a central feed with a camera. I might not even put a camera on it.
Mine has a camera.
So I might cam up the trails just because I can hunt the trails. The cameras, I don't know. If I have a camera on it and it's not doing anything good, it's going to mentally mess with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
You're going to be like, oh, there is nothing.
I almost don't want to know. I want to throw some corn out just around the farm potentially. So opening day, I have.
So what's funny though is like going back to. So real quick, I just want to kind of give my rundown and then I'm going to give my point. So I've got a 300-pound gravity feeder. It's like a Banks.
Damn.
It's like a Banks.
Beating.
Yeah. So it's got like the post in the ground, and like I don't like the feeders with the legs because I'm not a big fan of them. So I got this gravity feeder. Yes, you got it. It was a couple $100, but I felt like it was a good investment for the property. Now, what I was bringing up my point for is I can watch a couple fields out my bedroom window because my house kind of sits up above most of my property. I have watched multiple bucks, small bucks, nothing big. Couple 3-year-olds and younger, like feed in my clover all night within 100 yards of my feeder.
Never even go think about it.
And never go to my feeder. Mm-hmm. And I can see my feeder from my house. So it's like, I know for a fact that if I was running a camera on that feeder and I live three hours away, I would be like, oh, they're gone. Like, where are my deer? Mm-hmm. And I've gone days without deer hitting my feeder. And I've actually drove down there with my 4-wheeler and like made sure like the feed wasn't, something wasn't preventing it from coming out. And there's plenty of corn in the little mouthpieces. And they just, like this time of year, I don't think they want it,
Yeah. So,
But I do have beautiful clover plots that I'm very blessed with. So
that's why
that helps.
The professional baiters always use additives. It's corn plus apples plus record rec feed plus.
And I'm not a professional.
you're not a masturbator?
I'm not a masturbator, no.
So I will preface this by saying Ethan has dumped some corn. So Ethan's on a permission piece. He has dumped a corn or some corn. I think he said today he's already at 700 pounds. It's like wild. Yeah.
No wonder the miles on my side by side
Right.
racking
Right.
up.
So he's dumping corn.
Because it's not close to here. He
No,
drives
it's
the
not.
side by side all the way there.
So that being said, we haven't talked about it a ton on this podcast. Maybe we have, he's hunting a new set of deer and potentially a couple big ones. He, like 7 to 10 days will go by and he won't have him on camera and he would start to mash that panic button. This is before the baiting. Yeah. Mash that panic button. He'd drive down there, set up, start glassing and like, boom, watch that deer stand up.
Yeah.
Aaron got to see the video today. Bedding in the field, walking across like the field. Like he hasn't had him on camera in 10 days, but he's right there.
See, that just echoes what we were talking about for your deer. Like you went down to Kentucky, you were bummed. You didn't have any deer on camera.
I was mad during the hunt.
And then you kill a beautiful velvet buck.
And it's one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight is we need to not rely on our cameras.
No.
And I know we are guilty. There is 100 plus cell cameras being run by this table. I mean, probably more than that.
I have 50 of just myself. So.
And
On
Aaron's
30
at-
acres?
No.
Oh, okay.
How many are you running?
Probably approaching 30
We're at like 20 something.
across
So, yeah, we're at
several
100.
states.
We're at 100.
Yeah.
But I also have, I probably have 50 non-cells in
See,
three different states.
I didn't include non-cells. There was a time in my life where like any extra $100 I had, I bought a camera.
Same.
So-
Every Christmas. What do you want for Christmas? Trail
Cameras,
cams. That's
yeah.
it.
I love trail cameras more than. Look at this. Actually, Aaron, here. Let me show you something. That's 50 broken cameras in that box right there. That's 50 cameras in that box that don't work.
Some dummy cam. I'm gonna throw those up on my public spots.
You can have the
Take 'em
whole
all.
box. I was the same way, and I love trail cameras probably more than anyone at this table. Like I am deeply in love with them. But I can readily admit that they don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Like I have already killed a buck this year that wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
Yeah.
And we base our hunting and our mood and our I ain't going out today. Nothing on camera. You know, the deer aren't moving. That's such bullshit. And we need to get away from that.
I told you 2 years ago to stop doing it. I stopped doing it. I can't even log into the cell phone app right now
You're missing some good stuff.
Why is
Ethan's
that?
buck's been wrecking
because I have a
scrapes.
shit phone. The iPhone 6 won't log into the WiseEye app.
What are they up to now? 16?
17.
17?
just
Yeah,
came out.
I just bought one. I pre-ordered it.
So I want to punt right into the next conversation.
Okay,
we
punting.
talk about it more than anything else on this podcast. You guys probably talk about it on yours quite a bit. It gets talked about on social media to death. And I'm going to use you as a perfect example, Matt.
Let's hear it.
You had some deer aged last year with their jawbones.
Okay.
Now, to preface that, obviously it's not 100% accurate, but they
They say
You
it's
know,
pretty damn close.
with being pretty damn close, you were able to get your deer aged. Me and you both were off on some ages on these deer.
Oh, yeah, significantly.
And we talk verbatim about making sure we're only shooting mature bucks, especially on your own farm. Make sure you only shoot a 4-year-old. You got to help be a steward of the good hunting and all the things we just talked about for the last half hour. And it comes back to, do we really know? Like, how much are we wrong about ages of deer?
You know, I used to be very arrogant and think that I knew. And I used to always think that there's no chance that that's a 3-year-old or there's no chance that that's not a 5-year-old. But anymore,
Mouse.
I didn't see
I saw it.
I mean, we're in the wild right here. We're allowed to have mice.
anymore. I don't know, man. I mean, my PA deer is a prime example. Like I thought that was a 2.5-year-old, and I know it's a PA buck, but
How old was he?
4.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Because he was about 100, like the size of the Indiana deer,
Yeah.
110.
Yeah. Very
I'll be-
similar to your deer.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was thinking about that when I was watching that velvet buck come across the field. In my head, I'm thinking, there ain't no way I'm not shooting this deer. Especially when all the deer that I think are 2 or 4, you know? Like,
Matt shot a 4-year-old. Shit.
So like honestly, you know, the off season had us all really worked up, and you know, for the last couple of months we've been talking about deer and deer and deer. And now that the season's here, I'm gonna officially go on record of maybe I'm gonna pull back a little bit on what I fucking think about deer and their age, because I don't think I know
I love it.
as much as I thought I did.
I agree.
Especially after seeing your jawbone deer, you know, and the footage of it and just all the things, you know.
It's so hard to tell.
It's all situational.
Just looking here. So that deer that's up there with the white plaque or whatever.
Wasn't that an old deer?
It was
Yes.
a really old deer. And you could tell, just look at his skull size compared to this other one on the wall.
Yeah.
Like his skull's 3 inches longer, probably.
That deer that Isaac's pointing at on the plaque, he didn't score shit.
No, 107 inches.
He was on the farm for we have 4 years of trail camera. We have that shed. That deer got big, and that's the deer that I passed. Remember when we were watching videos down at camp last week? I said I regret passing this
2
buck,
years
that
before
bull nose buck.
Yeah.
That was before.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah,
wow.
he ended up looking like that in the end, and you know he lost a ton of weight when Isaac shot. Isaac shot him in January. He had saggy skin.
It was the only
on his,
deer I've seen with jowls.
he had saggy skin on his
like
neck,
hanging off his jaw,
Yeah.
off his jawbone.
You know, we don't know shit.
And see, this deer we thought was at least 4.5. This other skull in here.
Which is probably what, like a high 20s deer, what we're looking at?
No, he scored 1 in 18.
Oh, never mind.
The one you shot last year?
Yeah.
I thought it was 127.
Looks a lot better right
No,
here.
he was under 120. It's just a normal 8-point with short times.
But he was definitely mature.
Yeah.
What would you say he
I
was?
say at least a 4-year-old deer.
It's just so hard to know. And then Luke's buck over here, the one that's mounted next to him on the wall. I know the audience can't see it, but we're pointing at deer on the wall. I have 4 years of trail camera videos of that deer, and he got smaller. The year Luke shot him right there that he's mounted on the wall, he was smaller than the year prior.
Yeah.
He got smaller. So who knows how old he was.
And
His
he was
hair was falling off.
He was in the 20s, right?
He had
scored one-
abscesses at one. No, he scored 138.
No, I don't think he was that much, was he?
He was
looks
because he's 1 inch shy of Freeman's. Freeman had 139. He scored 130 because he has mass and he has that tall rack. The beams are sneakily long.
Yep.
You know, I think maybe, we're thinking that he was 4 when Luke shot him, but then I look through all the trail camera videos. It's like, dude, this deer had to be 5. But then his rack's getting smaller. Hell, is he 8?
Well,
you know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know.
Here's the thing. This is my point. Everybody looks at the rack size. Like, that's the first thing that they look at, and they immediately judge the deer based off of that. Well, we all know that based on the deer on the wall and from our own personal experiences with running cameras and etc., the rack is the last thing you need to look at.
Yes.
But it's so hard to mentally get your mind around that because you look at a 120-inch deer and you're like, there's no way he's 5.5, but yet he is. And like, you look at the 115-inch deer that I killed in PA, and you're like, that's a 2-year-old. And you look at his body, you look at his rack size, and then he turns out to be 4. And it's like, I didn't have any history with that deer.
Right.
I was there for one weekend and I pulled the trigger, but it's like,
I will be honest with you. After the whole summer and the last couple of years of just podcasting and deer age, and it's kind of a freeing feeling, not worrying too much about.
He's going to be stacking 3-year-olds.
about how old a deer is because these
I
deer.
see his discussion bullet point: justify shooting 3-year-olds.
That is not what is written.
He just deleted it.
So honestly, I just don't think we know as much as we think we are, and you have to be mature enough to admit that we don't know shit.
So what's the solution if you don't have? Maybe you don't have a place like here where you have trail cam picture year after year.
Well, you don't shoot 6 points like Born Again.
So what do you do? So what do you do?
I don't shoot the 6
I'm
points.
kidding.
You just shoot for antlers, and if it's big enough to get you excited, you shoot it because it might be 2 and it might be 5.
Aaron, what do you do? Because you're the outlier out of the group. You're a public land guy.
I mean,
what gets your goat in the woods?
It's kind of just that excitement factor. I mean, I always aim for on these out-of-state trips. Like, I'm always gunning for at least a 3-year-old, and now I'm starting to try to take that next step. Although,
It's hard.
dude, bow hunting is hard. So a 3-year-old on public land, and especially in another state, like it'd be pretty tempting to shoot any 3-year-old. But I mean, that's kind of my. But again, 3-year-old in my mind, I don't know if it's actually 3.
That's
we-
that's the point.
We've had some problems too. So I don't know if it was last year, 2 years ago, that hunt I filmed in the clover plot by the pond over here, where I seen a whole bunch of deer and they were all kind of
the one heavy 8 came out.
Yeah, so I'm watching all these smaller bucks, 2-year-olds, maybe a 3-year-old came out. Probably
Immature deer for sure.
probably 100 inches. And then all of a sudden, here comes this big old buck looking thing, lumbering out, taking command of the field.
All the other deer coward.
Yeah, and if we wouldn't have had history of him, he might have been a 4-year-old, but he was
Probably
definitely on
could
our
have been.
not shoot list.
Yeah,
But if this would have happened out of state or would have happened quick in the woods, that deer was dying.
Yeah.
for sure.
The only reason I didn't shoot him because I got to watch him for 20 minutes.
So Ethan has said it best. He's the young. So out of our group, the deer shop, all of us, the deer shop guys, and everyone at this table, Ethan's the most inexperienced because he's just the newest bow hunter out of all of us. But he's hungry, and his thing this year is listen. He told me he's like
Booner or bust.
well, maybe, but he says especially on these out of state hunts and stuff. If a buck comes in and he's doing mature buck things, like he smokes a scrape and his belly jiggles and he hits a licking branch, he's getting him. He's getting shot. And maybe we need to be better people and kind of maybe go that route. I've been thinking about this a lot just because of social media and like a lot of conversations and everyone pumps their chest up, right?
Well, here's the thing though, and it echoes back to the antler size. Not all mature deer reach 160 inches.
No,
Like
a very small. Actually, like
I would love to know the
very small
percentage of deer that actually make Boone and Crockett. Like I'm sure
it's less than 10%.
That's-
1%.
I would lean more towards 1% of all bucks have the potential to get
Gross Boone.
gross Boone. So like everybody thinks that like, oh, he's not 5, he's not 170 inches. Dude, the chances of they're out there, don't get me wrong, I don't want to make it sound like they're not out there. We've all chased them, we've all tried to kill them, But here's the thing. Like, how many 120s that got passed because they're not the 170 turn into the 5-year-old bully bucks?
Every deer Isaac's ever killed.
Yeah. And it's like,
There's a deer inside. He's 121 inches. He's a 7-point. And it probably one of the biggest body deer we ever had in here.
We weighed a 220-pound deer in here that was mine, the buck we call Massey, and your deer that you shot when I watched the videos back, he's like 50 pounds heavy.
So,
like this deer that you shot was so big.
You can look back in our videos
So big.
of that hunt. We had a roadkill buck that the neighbor rode over. He's hanging up in there, I think.
He's in there.
He's 135 inch.
Yep, and we had him pegged as a 3-year-old.
Is he a 10-point?
He's an 8. He's a
8 point.
really good 8.
Way bigger rack sitting next to my dead buck I just shot that scored 120 inches, and my deer is 2 foot longer.
2 feet.
wow.
It was a foot on the front and a foot on the back.
Wow.
Like this, but like
Probably
this,
75.
This 130 inch
pounds more.
8-point could fit inside Isaac's deer.
Wow.
And mine was 120 inch 7-point.
So that just emphasizes that we can't go off a rack size.
It's a deer. That 120 and 7 points, a buck that we probably passed unconsciously without knowing for many years.
Yeah.
And he just achieved age, but he never
Well, of
was
course.
genetically
Nobody
great.
wanted to shoot
Yeah.
him.
You almost have to go off these deer's personality in order to
Yes.
I think
judge their maturity.
I agree. I think a lot of but the other thing that I didn't. So the other thing we have to remember about my PA buck, even though I'm about to say body, is that I killed him in January.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably lost 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Easily.
You know.
The 7-pointer we were talking about earlier, the really old buck with the jowls, he probably weighed 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But he was long. So that's
And
what I
he was-
remember. You could
but
see,
he was super old. He could have been 8 years old.
you could see his skull there. His skull's super long. I remember his body was just long. Like it was so long. He had no weight to him.
Granted, it was almost February when I shot
Yeah.
him, but
Well, I shot in early October 5th. I shot one in PA, and you were busting my balls for it being a younger deer. And I sent you the picture, the trail cam, a couple
Oh,
of trail
yeah.
cam
And I was
pictures
wrong.
of that
I
deer.
was wrong.
Covered up the
Yeah.
antlers and said,
We both did.
Yeah, I
we
said,
both
I said,
did.
hey, I have no history with this deer. How old do you think?
And I
Both of
said
you are
mature.
like mature, definitely mature. And I, sent you the picture without, and it's like, yeah, it's that same buck that
And which
you were
was like
busting my balls about. He's probably 105
inches.
inches,
Yeah.
100 inches.
I think we fall into the. We are sitting here as people who are involved in all the media and read all the studies and watch all the videos, and we still fall into the trap of we
Antler
see his
size.
rack and we see the hunt, and we're like, nah, it's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
That guy's a scrub.
What do they
And you
call
know what?
that?
And the thing is, we're just wrong a lot.
I
we're just so
agree.
wrong.
I agree, honestly.
At least I am. I know.
You know,
I'm wrong.
and anybody listening to this that's like puffing their chest saying like, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. I promise you I was there. Because when I first met you guys, and I'll apologize for it right now on air, I thought that you guys were like just out there in left field because you guys were always telling me, oh, we've got a 120-inch 5-year-old. I'm like, there's no way that's a...
they're everywhere.
And that's what I'm like, and now that I've matured,
there's 5 of them in this house.
and it's like, yeah, I mean, some deer just don't have the potential. And especially with going back to the corn piles. If every good 3-year-old that scores 130 to whatever gets shot on a corn pile, what does that do for the genetics in the area on a long-term scale? Those 100-inch 3-year-olds that are scrub bucks that are only going to be 120
They're
at 5.
breeding until February.
They breed until they can't walk anymore, and then those are your genetics.
What do they call that? High grading or
High
something?
grading, yeah.
So that's a Don Higgins thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Don Higgins is all about passing your young 10 points, kill as many old 8 points as
Oh,
you can.
you remember we were talking about that in Kentucky?
Yes.
Don
Because I listened to his podcast on the way down there.
publicly came out and said that he's shooting what 2-year-old,
He
2-year-old
says
eights
if
or
the-
3-year-old.
No, you let him
eights?
get to 3, I think he said. And he's not shooting him. I think he
He's-
has people come.
Well, obviously,
you know,
yeah.
Don was at 3. The Hunter guys said that they know people down by Mississippi,
that's
the
right.
Mississippi
2.
State studies and all that stuff that are shooting like scrub 2-year-olds.
Yep.
If they have a deer that has a big butt and a small rack, they kill it.
Yep.
Simple as that.
So for the listeners to kind of paint a better picture, so Don Higgins, who if you pay attention to anything media, you know who that is. He manages actually it's smaller than I thought it was. I thought it was a huge farm, but it's only a couple hundred acres. And his philosophy is that if there's an 8-point that hits 3, and it doesn't matter how big the 8-point is, correct?
right.
If he's got
Yep.
8 points at 3-year-olds, he's inviting his grandson, his neighbors, his cousins, whoever, kids down the road, anybody that wants to shoot this 8-point, it's fair game. And he's letting all the young 10 points live. And frankly, I mean, based on his track record, it's working.
yeah.
I mean, I think you do that long enough, and you have the lineage of these better, better antler producing bucks. But not only that, you don't have the the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds that have lesser antlers pushing the better up and coming bucks out of the property
Exactly.
too.
So what you're saying is antler restrictions would probably make it worse.
Well,
Because how long has PA been doing antler restrictions?
At
what,
least
90s?
Yeah, a while.
So they get a
I don't think
lot,
it's been that long.
a lot
I thought it
of.
was late
fact
90s.
check us, Aaron.
I
So
will.
they get a
Late
lot
90s
of 2.5 and 3.5-year-old 10-pointer shot because of those antler restrictions. Everybody's passing. They could be. You can have an old big bully 6-point. They're not allowed to shoot it.
The thing is, I love big old 8-points. So, like,
too.
I'm not mad
Me
about
too.
140-inch 8-point.
too.
No one is. But that's why I was so excited about this deer. This is split ear. And, like, he's a 3-year-old, we think. 10-point. He's got he checks all the Don Higgins boxes.
Yeah.
We were so excited for him. And
I had a muzzleloader. He was at 15 yards.
I had him in bow range 4 times last year. And
Old
I'm
car got him.
like, had to have. June 2nd.
2002 is when PA added APRs.
Has it worked? You think?
Close.
I think
PA?
so. I think
100%.
between that and then them going from $2 to $1, I think that was prior to that. But
Which my 3?
I think otherwise, I think PA and Michigan were probably the most similar states as far as like hunting culture and population and all that stuff. And PA's made some good. I think PA is a sleeper state.
Hunting PA this year?
TBD.
I might be going up there this
Same.
weekend.
So I'm going to play.
you?
I'm going to play a
Maybe.
video for us here.
I got some pins if you want them.
No, I
Us
got
here
it.
in the
I got a
audience.
bunch.
You know what? And if I get to it, when I'm,
Whereabouts do you have?
The zone that opens early.
Speaking of my
Oh,
PA
I'm not
permission
going
guy,
hunting,
just texted
I'm
me
going
back.
scouting.
I'm going to play a video for us to watch here, the panel, and I'll try and play it on the podcast version, the video version, if we can. I'll play it in the background to show you what I mean about Luke's buck. This intro shows the progression of Luke's buck, like year to year, and like he gets smaller, and it's just wild.
Damn, Ohio State.
So, PA has an early season.
Yep.
Oh shit! Hopefully,
Only
it's
in like
not
the
where I'm
urban
hunting.
zones, right?
So
It's-
probably not where I'm hunting then.
Probably not.
Because I was
Right
planning
around
on going up
Pittsburgh.
there to scout this weekend.
So 21, 22. This is all the same
Here's some
trail
PA
camera.
bucks my buddy just sent me. That's
23, and then 24. He gets smaller.
Yeah.
So he was bigger in 23 than he is there.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Yeah, to your point, Aaron, I've got a buddy in PA too, and he's chasing like 160s, like every year. He's chasing 160s.
There's big ones.
I was telling Aaron when I was at Aaron's buying lone wolves right here. See, I was buying lone wolves from Aaron today.
Yeah, I was wondering where you got that shirt from.
I
got
didn't
this
sell
shirt-
him that.
So no, I got this shirt because there's a shed antler back here. I won the shed antler contest for the Lone Wolf Facebook group.
You
last
still
year.
have that gift card?
Yeah, $100.
Yeah. What the hell is that going
And I got a bunch of shirts and like some stickers and stuff because I won the shed antler contest because I had that buck drop his antlers.
What do you get, a $100 gift card?
The wolf.
to Lone Wolf Custom Gear.
So you can probably buy
what's
like the
$100
silencing
get you
wrap
there?
or something.
That's why I haven't turned it in yet.
You haven't bought a $700 stand?
I was telling Aaron while I was over there that we run into these guys turkey hunting that say that they kill giants up there
Yeah, so
all the time in
I
Pennsylvania.
thought PA was the land of small bucks. I've been hunting there for a couple years, usually just see smaller bucks. And I ran into a guy taking stands out, older guy. This dude had 7 Lone Wolf 3-steps on his back. He said that's how high he hunts.
Wow.
He hunts
7.
like 30, 35 foot.
Dude.
For one, he's crazy, but he started showing me trail camera pictures. This is at the end of the season, so I guess he wasn't too worried. And he's showing me 140, 150 class deer up in these hills.
On the mountains. Well, look at that. Not to.
I want to bring it up. Yeah,
guy.
the
Look
guy.
at sheds.
Look
The
at
shed.
that guy that
Yeah.
found the 200-inch sheds. I mean, that was PA Mountains.
Has there been any? So that went quiet.
So that was last year, right? So that he would be hunting that buck this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went quiet because like it hit the podcast. It hit the podcast circus. Like working class bow hunters was
People
talking about
found
it.
where
Yeah.
those were.
Oh,
There was
Immediately.
people.
He screwed himself.
There were people that were hunting that deer. You know, but I haven't. So on my phone somewhere, and I'm not gonna look for it right now. I saw someone post score thoughts PA public land on a trail camera page, and it was a deer that looked like that one. And it was like 200.
Yep.
So I wonder if, you know, and
Yeah.
we'll find out here very soon whether that deer's alive or not. But
I believe it.
for the audience listening, there was a podcast last year. We talked about it on ours a little bit. There was a guy who found a matched set of sheds that would have scored anywhere between like 190 and 200 in PA typical. Like potentially
Giant.
a walking world record typical buck
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania on
Giant.
public land.
In the mountains.
In the mountains.
Because
Huge
the
typical
idiot
deer.
posted a video of him picking them up.
Yeah. I would have taken him to a soccer field.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
Like, where
take
would
him-
you?
but
I
any-
would show the videos here inside our shop.
Anytime
We
you're
can't
messing
tell.
around with a potential world or state
Yeah,
record,
nobody
you
would know about it
cannot-
until that deer's dead. And even after,
We get leery about talking about a 160, 170. I can't imagine talking about something potentially.
Wait, you guys got a 160 or 170?
That's what I heard.
All right, you guys want to talk about saddles?
Sure.
Change
So
the
we
subject.
we have 2 stand guys and 2 saddle guys here.
Well, to be fair, we can't really talk about saddles because we've never tried them. I've never even put one on.
We haven't tried them.
Dude,
We
I
haven't
begged
put one
you
on.
guys.
True, but we have rappelled off buildings, and we've worn
That's not,
harnesses.
that's not the same.
We've worn harnesses.
But I will say,
we've
so
done that.
I've
whole
worn
thing.
harnesses. It's not the same.
hunting public last year in PA. I had 2 lone wolf setups, and I was taking them in, setting them up, taking them down, moving them around. It was the worst thing ever.
Isaac, I don't know. I truly, with the style of hunting that you do, I don't understand why you don't have a
I
saddle.
need to get one. Maybe I should just steal Ethan's and practice out.
Ooh,
Because I'm up there, and for another thing,
Wait,
if
does
you're-
Ethan have a saddle?
Ethan's had a saddle.
Okay.
He's
What's
too
he
big
have?
for. He
like
does
a buzzard roost or something.
buzzard roost, and he doesn't like it that much because he's too big for it. He says.
Well, yeah,
but
he's
you're a big guy too.
260.
270.
It's a big man.
He's like
close to that weight
6'5".
rating.
Yeah.
Another thing I would love about a saddle is probably being attached to the tree at all times.
Oh, it feels so.
I'm in
nice.
this little lone wolf stand, and maybe I'm on a tree that's a little angled or a little off, or there's a branch, and it's freaky up there.
Well, the thing is it like when you stand up and go to draw,
yeah,
your balance with a saddle, dude, you always feel like you're attached to the tree. And honestly, I think it's steadier at full draw because you have something anchored to you the whole time.
and hanging the stand.
We end up. Me and you are always hunting 10 feet off the ground on public.
Oh,
land.
yeah.
I mean, I do a lot in my saddle too, but I think it's safer. I think even if I wasn't filming, like, what do you say when you came over? You're like, man, it'd be such a pain to hang and hunt every single time you go. Like, it doesn't even phase me.
Oh, it would drive me insane.
But to
Yeah,
be
but-
fair,
Every
getting
time.
the sticks
It's
up,
so easy.
so tossing up 3 or 4 sticks, that's the easy part. It's the hauling the stand up there and make sure you can get the stand level. Make sure you can get somewhere where you can shoot, where you can hang your bow. Like when you hit the saddle, you just hook in and you're there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Basically.
And it's one, like when you get good and proficient at it, it's one trip up the tree.
That's it.
You're not climbing down the tree 10 times to grab stuff. It's one trip, and I'm up.
I tell
so
my
you're saying we're idiots?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
I tell
we've been
myself
saying this.
I know.
I tell myself I'm a
aware.
one tripper. Like I got a rope for my book bag, a rope for my bow.
Oh no.
no. I'm up and down this 4 times at
No.
least.
I'm one trip.
But how nice is it when you get it perfect and you're up in that stand though?
It's nice.
Yeah, but then you got to tear it down, and then I know your guys' philosophy.
We leave 'em.
You're like, oh, I'm going to leave it because I don't want to mess with it, and I'm going to give it one more try. But what if
Yeah.
it's not that spot? You know?
You're not wrong. You're here today to bust holes in me for sure.
I mean, I'm a big fan of saddles, but I don't care if you saddle hunt or tree stand hunt as long as I think
mean
you just
tree
need to be
stands?
able to be, what's that?
You mean tree stands?
What'd I say?
Saddles.
Saddles or tree stands, but I think you need to be mobile.
Yeah.
And I grew up like my progression was like, I started with a bunch of ladder stands, and then from there went to like the Menards discount tree stands at the end of the year, and we'd pack them in. We'd have a whole trailer full of them, and we would throw them up everywhere and anywhere we could possibly hunt, and that was better because then we had options for wind directions and all this stuff. But it was still the case of like you're sitting there, you have an encounter, but it's just out of bow range. So what do? You're like, I'm going to go right back to that stand the next day. And best case scenario, that buck is just out of range again versus just sliding down the field edge or whatever
Yeah,
the
20
case is,
yards.
making the adjustment. It's all those micro adjustments that I think mobile hunting allows you to do. And again, whether you're a tree stand guy, saddle guy, I think saddle is the ultimate just because it's lighter, smaller, less bulky,
So
all that stuff.
I
But-
will say this year I didn't put a lot of effort into changing my setup or doing anything this because life was so busy and I didn't have a lot planned. But next year I think I am going to try a saddle. I think it's too late for this year to try to get into that because hunting PA last year and trying to be mobile with my lone wolf setup, it broke me
Yeah.
because I'm trying to carry this stand with sticks. And then
Train.
we have the camera gear, which adds a whole nother.
Yep.
No matter how light
30
of a
pounds.
setup you get, it's another 20 pounds, and it is absolutely difficult. And it also adds an extra element to setting up.
Yep.
So it's another 10 minutes of setup and tear down,
Yep.
and it just wears it. I only hunted for 3 days, and I was whooped after 3 days of doing that, carrying that shit up and down the mountains.
I mean, Aaron and I both did it. Like, we understand. Like, my original mobile setup was the Hawk $120.
I bought 2 from him
Yeah.
today.
And then, and like the sticks that went with it that weighed 5 pounds
Mm-hmm.
each. Like, I understand. Trust me.
We're still doing that.
But I said so to my point.
It is tough.
To be fair, the reason why I bought all that stuff from you today is because when you have a farm like ours and you have set farms, and we told it, I told this to you through texting, I think. If you have certain attractions like a mega good scrape or a water hole or sweet food plot,
Just set up.
there's only so many trees, and if you don't overhunt it and you have it there historically at all times, that's why I love having the preset stands.
So quote unquote, the mobile setups like ours, the Lone Wolf with the sticks, it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit hard to set up. Those work best for our situation.
Yeah, because we can adjust off that permanent setup.
We're hunting 250 acres, and we would like to adjust our stands here and there. We're not adjusting them every sit, but maybe we're adjusting them once a month. Those stands work good for that.
And the elephant in the room when it comes to that kind of thing is we're also gun hunting our farms. And like when you have a beautiful permanent setup like that and you have a rifle in your
You
hand.
slip into it.
Yeah, you just slip into it and shoot the deer at 100 yards. It's awesome.
Hold on. I'm going to
If
rebuttal
you can hit that deer.
Here's my point. Instead of freehanding it, I've seen you boys do a couple times, you can be in a saddle and you have the tree in between you and the deer. And how easy is it to take your left hand, stick that baby against the tree, and rest your gun right there?
You got the tether coming off that you can lay it across.
I mean,
you can't group me into their gun hunting situations because they suck.
Yeah. No,
I don't have a trouble with
I will
gun
say
hunting.
that.
Listen,
I don't think I've missed an animal with a
I
gun.
don't miss the deer because I suck at shooting. I miss the deer because I get excited about it. Right? There's a difference.
I watched.
Anytime we ever target shoot out here with plates, I'm dinging that plate every time.
Fine.
It's not. That's not the thing, you know.
When we were in Kentucky, not to bust Ethan's, but
no, we're allowed to bust Ethan's balls.
We all watched
270 pounds.
He flinched so hard on that first.
I watched the video and look at him like, what?
You're talking last year?
Yeah. So last year when he missed that fucking early muzz,
I was there for that.
It looked like somebody grabbed his arm before he shot the gun.
And not to
because
mention
he was so nervous. He was just excited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And then
not to
he
mention
did not
the
do it.
shot selection was terrible. The deer sitting there looking at it, and then he starts walking away, and that's when he shoots.
He just like flinches and pulls the trigger.
And you can't see in the video because it's a muzzleloader, but I can guarantee you he missed by
20 feet.
yards. Not inches, yards.
And Ethan, I know you're listening to this. I love you, dude, but it's just, get a bog pot or something next time.
So Matt showed this is a good story for the audience. Matt shows up with a perfectly dialed in 250 yard custom fucking muzzleloader. I show up with a muzzleloader that I will kill a deer within 150 yards guaranteed. Ethan shot his like one time and knew it was kind of accurate. And Aaron never even shot his muzzleloader when he showed up.
I
He
borrowed my
never
dad's.
even shot it.
I didn't even know how to load that thing.
So we had the full gamut of like guys. And of course, Matt 10 ranged his, pinwheeled it. And then Ethan shot way over his back. I didn't even see a deer. And Aaron was just trucking around on public land having a miserable time.
I stepped in somebody's poop in the parking lot. Opening morning, I get out and I'm getting all my stuff going around the car. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, why is the ground all wet? Somebody had like pooped and peed right there, and I stepped in all of it. So that was
that's lovely.
cover scent.
Speaking of scent control, do you guys do anything?
No. Not
I spray down with the stuff because it makes me feel good, but I think it's all BS.
I used to spray down with the stuff because I thought mentally it would help me, and I just realized that none of it ever works, and I stopped doing it.
I've never been scented by a deer and wondered why.
I want to look.
I've only ever been scented by a deer when I'm like, oh, they're downwind. Of course they're gonna smell me.
So I like to wash my clothes and like the UV killing outdoor scent stuff, but like I don't worry that much about my underwear and my socks, and like my hat has been.
I have a question about that.
Like,
so they market that UV whatever blah blah blah. How come with some clothes when you walk by a deer camera and it takes your picture, you glow like the fucking moon?
That's what they're talking.
And then some clothes you don't. Like, you know what?
It's got to be the UV brighteners, right?
But you'll walk by with your clothes. Your book bag will be completely black, but your camo, whatever it is super bright.
I don't know.
Is that what the deer see? Is that just what the camera sees? 'Cause obviously, it's
so hold on.
different.
Before we get down too big of a rabbit hole, I do want to plug Scent Armor.
We don't do sponsors here.
Listen. Before you jump my goat, we are not partnered with them at all. It's a local Ohio company that I've tried, and I will say it's not. They don't do the gimmick stuff of like nose jammer and like scent away. Their stuff smells like
Ozonics.
straight pine trees. Like it's the strongest
It's a cover
pine
scent.
cover scent.
Cover scent.
And it, dude, I'm telling you.
Hey, is that what you had in the shower in Kentucky? So I'm in the shower and like doing my thing. I'm like, oh, normally Airbnbs leave you some shit. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I'm like, I put it on my thing and I'm like, holy shit, this is like pine saw. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be Matt's.
Yeah.
Because Ethan had like Old Spice.
He had
or
Old
something.
Spice.
Yeah. So I got Old Spice in my hair and pine saw on my pits. And I'm like, but I saw it in there.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I am not a believer in anything scent control, but that stuff right there, I think it does pretty good.
To the hunter, it smells good. So.
Yeah.
So we can do a shameless plug.
Yes.
We like shameless plugs.
I do believe in mental, like things that mentally think you're doing well help you in the woods.
Yeah,
I'm a believer
confidence,
in that.
yeah.
If you have something that you feel is making it a better hunt for you, by all means, take it.
And not to mention somebody that goes through this regiment of scent control, they probably are helping a little bit more than us that just have
maybe
our...
seconds.
I don't think there's any way you can totally. I've been the guy who showered every single time and left everything in totes and would never, it was like as extreme as you could get. I've done the ozone and I've been everywhere in between, and now maybe it's because I just hunt too much, not too much. I just hunt
keep
so
your
much.
clothes in a bin and just...
I don't even keep them in a bin hardly. They're just.
Do you ever listen to Eberhardt's stuff on his scent control
he's
regiment?
a bomb.
Factor.
I would rather. There's words I would say on this podcast that someone might get mad, but like I'd probably rather kill myself than do what he does before he hunts.
Well, yeah.
It's like a 2-hour long
I know.
regiment that he does before
I heard
every
him on.
hunt.
I heard him
Holy
with Mark.
Shit.
Dude, I heard him on Mark Kenyon talking how he poops in a Ziploc and then zips it up and packs it out with him.
I killed my biggest buck after shitting out of the stand. Well, I got down.
I almost sky dumped out of the tree.
I've
I've
never sky dumped, but I got
either.
down and took a shit in the morning. I've told this story many times on the podcast. Took a shit in the morning, went back up, didn't see nothing. I went back to that stand that night with my pile stinking all day. And I killed the biggest buck of my life with my bow.
Now, hold on. I don't want to make it sound like we're a bunch of idiots. Like, yes, it does.
No, we're just real.
It does. It does affect somewhat. We can't argue and say it doesn't. But is it as powerful as what people think it is? As in, like, hey, don't pee out of your tree or you'll never see a deer again. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah, and the whole gimmick of you don't have to worry about wind direction if you do this.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I don't. If you pay attention to wind and and we've we can get into strategy all you want. Like you want to give him the wind a little bit. If it's a mature buck,
gotta be cornered.
It's got to be quartered. That's a different podcast. That's strategy. But as long as you have the wind where it's not blowing directly where he's bedding or directly where he's coming from, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to become more of a guy that like doesn't really care that if my scent is blowing into the fields. Mm-hmm. Because how often does your buck, obviously there's going to be times we can dispute this, but how often do you watch your buck just feed for hours and then work his way in and you shoot him in range? Those bucks are coming downwind and circling. If your scent's going out in the field, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the biggest
It's the
dilemma.
whole
Is
edge
like
hunting
I think
thing.
that might
that's tough.
that matter more during the early season, and thermals I think play more of an effect during the early season. Like tonight, if you're hunting on the edge of a bean field, it drops 20 degrees right before.
It happened to me this week.
Right
last
before
weekend.
sunset.
We talked about
your
it.
set's gonna hit that ground and just run that whole field.
My scent was going the opposite way of the wind when I was in
Because you were
Kentucky.
sitting right.
I was sitting on a river.
Honestly, your setup was perfect.
And the temperature comes down and sucks your.
Yeah,
it has
because
nothing to do with the wind.
Because I had that stupid corn pile upwind to me.
It was not perfect for the corn pile.
And
it was
and
perfect for the field.
Dude, I hate I'm very happy with how that hunt turned out. I hate hunting over corn piles. It's just so miserable. Like Luke right here on the screen, Luke's video buck from last year. It took this deer 30 minutes to come in.
Oh, I know it.
30 minutes to come in, and it's just.
That's this guy.
Yep.
And so these hunts, they're kind of fun at the time, but when you look back at them now, you're like, man, that's misery.
Well,
Sitting out there
well,
every day,
it-
you're
it-
just waiting for darkness to come for them to come in.
I will admit, I'll say it, and I'll say it on this podcast. I'll say it on anyone's podcast or any video. When it's January 13th or 18th or February 2nd like
fish.
this, I love hunting over corn in the snow.
You'll see a
And it's
million
cold because you will see every deer in the county.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nights where you'll see 100 deer, and people are like, "What?"
And
No,
there's
you won't.
nothing else to do, and there's
They're-
nothing else going on in
Yeah,
our lives.
listen, it's January 18th on a Wednesday.
That's my
I'm
birthday.
doing nothing. That's your birthday?
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing on that day, but I'm going to sit in the woods and watch at 140 eat my corn.
I'm probably going out to eat.
You're going to shoot that 140.
Yeah, no doubt.
Jay said he's getting picked up tonight.
Cool.
So we didn't talk about it on the podcast yet, and we won't, but
Yeah, don't mention
there's
anymore.
things coming down the pike if you're a podcast listener with Uncle Jay. Drones. Let's talk about drones right now.
I hate them.
Hate him.
I can almost reach one.
Do you hate them, Isaac?
Yeah, hate them.
hate-
Worst thing ever.
I hate
The
every
thermal
second.
drones,
Thermal drones.
are the worst thing that has ever happened
I agree.
to deer hunting
I
in
agree.
Ohio.
And I think there's two different categories to put things into. Filmmaking purposes. Yes, it's cool to take our drone out, take a video of us driving through the woods side by side, take scenic shots. That is a completely different category than people scouting with a thermal drone.
Scouting.
and
It is
I'll
terrible.
even throw in
I'll
recovery
say
of deer.
it is 100% cheating anytime anyone flies that thermal drone looking for live deer.
Yep.
Cheating,
I agree.
100%. Don't care what you say. It is
agree.
cheating.
There's
Immediately.
and we've had multiple guys on this podcast that have drone companies, and we're friends with them, and that's fine. And I have no problem with that. But I just, and we have used drones. We have all used drones here. I haven't, but Isaac and Matt have. Have you used a drone yet for deer recovery? You know, and it's efficient, and there is a place for it in the recovery world, maybe. But I just don't believe you when you're saying you're not using it for scouting.
If that drone goes up in the sky looking for a live deer, it is cheating.
So let me ask you this.
100%.
Say you have however many tens of thousands of dollars saved up to put a down payment to eventually spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a farm.
I know where you're going with this.
So you're talking about for real estate
would.
purposes.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if you're going to buy land, would you want to do a drone consultation to see how many deer you have and maybe if you can,
Off season.
yeah, maybe off season.
No,
off
I'm
season.
way too impulsive.
Really?
If I see something, you know me for about 4
No, I'm
years.
saying
Impulsive.
that, I'm
He's never-
saying that you would do it.
No, I'm saying
No,
I'll
he's
just buy.
saying
The,
he's
I'll just
never
buy the
leaving
property.
Chatham.
I'll just buy
Gotcha.
the property
Gotcha,
and say,
gotcha.
"Fuck it, I'll make it work" because I like this feature
You're-
about it or this area.
You're talking
about
about
it, or-
checking the
Yeah.
numbers and possibly the quality of deer
Right.
before
Right.
purchasing land. That is getting real deep into, I don't know.
See, I thought you were going more towards like you already own the property because like, what do they call that again? Deer. I don't want to say deer analysis. Herd analysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I've tossed around the idea of doing it like late season, obviously outside of bow season. Now, granted, I only have 30 acres, but obviously I would fly, like the square block or whatever that I live on. But I don't know, man. Ethically speaking, like I know that if it's late season and it's past bow and say it's like late February, early March,
So you're tagged out.
yeah, not even tagged out because I wouldn't want to do it during season because like I would justify myself saying, well, he's probably not going to bed there during season because it's late season now, and I could justify in my mind of like I'm not really cheating, but there's also this ethical thing of it's still cheating, and I hate, so I'll just say this on the podcast. I was driving to a farm today. So for my work, I drive a lot. And I do service work on robotic equipment. So I'm driving to a farm to work on one of their robots. I noticed that there's a piece of there's a piece of public that I've always kind of wanted to like scout, but I've always been kind of too lazy to. And I was within 10 minutes of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive around it.
Funk bottoms.
No, not funk. Not funk. And so like I'm driving
Spot burning. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm driving around it and like through it, and the whole time I'm like, it would be so easy to throw a drone up and
10 minutes.
fly this.
Check the
thing.
cattails.
Because honestly, because I'm driving it and I'm thinking like, okay, it would take me days to scout this, like weeks to scout this. And my first thought was like, or I could get a drone, fly this in a day, and I could know everything about it. And it's like, it's so sad that my mind even went there. I would never do that. But for the average Joe that doesn't have morals, they're flying that all day.
All day.
All day.
So, great story. I don't know if I ever even told it on the podcast. The first time I was ever introduced to a thermal drone, it's no secret that we're firemen here. So we did a training here with a lost. We've done some search and rescue trainings with like, lost civilian in the woods, lost hunter, lost elderly, where we practice by putting people in the woods and trying to find them. And then we have the sheriff's department. They've come out here before, and they will put their drones up and show us how easily they can find them.
And to preference the story, this is probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, this was an amount of time
This is
ago.
before drones were
What they are
readily
now.
available.
Yep.
No, the same drones they have now, but
Well,
before
this
they
thing
were
was
readily available to the public for a reasonable price. This was a giant drone
Huge.
that was probably $100,000.
Wow.
So the sheriff's department brings this drone out. It's as big as a helicopter. I mean, this thing's literally like 4 feet by 4 feet.
It's
And they throw it up
30. It's the
here.
first one, big one.
We do our training and we're doing our stuff. And I'm obviously friends with the deputies, and they're like, I'm thinking like, so, and they're deer hunters, and we were talking about, and this is before the season. This is like August or July, something like that. And we're talking, I'm showing him some trail camera pictures of the bucks, because he's like, oh man, this is your farm. And we're just talking back and forth. And he's like, well, do you want to see him? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I'll put this thing up right now. We'll just go find him. And I'm like, you can do that? For one, while it was still light out, he put the drone up above this house. And he
didn't even fly it off, did he?
No, he put the drone up
straight
above
up?
this house, and there was a gentleman in a public place drinking a beer within 2 miles of here. He zoomed in on the guy with the drone. The drone was above our house. He zoomed in on the guy who's drinking a Sierra Nevada. I could read the fucking label on the beer from a mile away.
Yep.
So then he's like, you want to find your deer? He popped that drone up. Every deer that I showed him on trail cameras was in a certain bean field. He found them in 5 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. They're all out there in the middle.
Wow.
I'm like, this was years ago. I'm like, dude, this
Yeah.
this ain't right. And back then it was only, it was $100,000. So the sheriff's department,
nobody had access.
Fast forward 4 or 5 years.
Red
now,
flag should have been popping with us then.
we had a guy. We did a podcast about drone recovery. It was after Isaac had, it was with Chris Toth, our buddy who runs a drone recovery service. He works for the FAA. His job is an air traffic controller in the tower in Cleveland, everyday airplanes. He knows all the rules. He runs a drone business on the side and loves deer hunting. He's probably listening to this podcast. He enjoys listening to our stuff. He was here doing the podcast about Isaac's buck and his drone and all this shit. He's like, hey, you want me to fly for you tonight? And I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I don't put that drone up because I'm going hunting and I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything about where my deer are. Yeah. Like, I would just feel so small inside as a human.
And we know
hunter.
people that hunt in somewhat populated areas close to here, and they say that people are flying drones every night.
Yeah, we have
drones flying above their house every night. Completely legal. Everything is legal what they're doing.
Because it's not deer season. They're not aiding their hunt.
But they're going out and they can go out and pinpoint bucks.
Yep.
That's what makes it so.
If I do a secluded food plot in the back of my property where no one can see it, and I do all this work and I'm doing this shit,
You screen all your
the
roads.
neighbor just fly. Another side story. Probably 10 years ago, before thermal drones, I had a drone like that fly through when I was hunting one time at Thanksgiving here on the farm.
A couple times to us.
I'm sitting in my blind, just fucking drone just flew into my food plot.
And
like,
granted, it was probably some kid's Christmas present or whatever.
Right. But I'm like, what the hell? Like,
So there's a go ahead.
I will say that most of these people are breaking the laws, the drone flying laws, when they're doing all this deer recovery.
Because you're an operator.
Yeah. So
you have your
for work, I have my license to do search and rescue.
For work purposes.
Yeah, for work purposes. And we have the same drone at work that they use for the deer recovery. It's the 30T or whatever, the DJI. Technically, you're supposed to have eyes on that drone at all times. Like, it's never supposed to fly out of your vision.
Out of view.
And people just, send them up and fly them a mile away. And it's completely illegal to do that. And you're not allowed to fly them over people. There's all sorts of rules that you're not allowed to do, and they break those rules.
At the same time, there's a bunch of rules that like you would think shouldn't exist, but do. Like, your neighbor's got a hot wife and she's always hanging out by her pool topless. You can fly the drone over and just take videos of her all day.
Yep.
It's not illegal. It's immoral, obviously, but it's not illegal.
As long as they don't prove that you're harassing them or disturbing their privacy. But you could just say, oh, no, I'm taking a picture of my fence or whatever.
And that's disturbing to me. Like, you can fly your drones and look into people's backyards, like their ponds,
Another wild thing. I can't drive down the road. This is not to bring up keywords. CJ Alexander got in trouble for this.
Whoa, I'm going to bring that up soon.
He headlighted a deer in a cemetery, I think, with his car. Supposedly. Allegedly. And got in trouble for it. For headlighting a deer from the road with his car.
Yeah, technically that's spotlighting.
But you could fly that drone with a giant spotlight on it and shine it down and look at that deer.
Yeah, it's not spotlighting.
How is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
so
why
the
is
regulations are very vague now.
It's a vehicle with a light on it, and you could shine it right at a deer.
The regulations are very vague. They say that you're not allowed to use a drone in any type of pursuit of hunting or the aid of hunting whatsoever outside of recovering a wounded specific deer. Mm-hmm. And you have to, but there's like the vagueness of like,
no, that's not true.
Yes.
No, because you can legally fly a drone, go find where your buck's bedded, and as long as it's not in air, you can go pursue it.
Legally, not technically legally.
No, you're allowed to provide, it states that you are allowed to provide the location to the hunter one time, land the drone, and then they can pursue.
See, but that's such
and
a
they
gray
want
area.
And they want to see for for lack of a better, a change of events before you do it again. So like a day has to go by.
They
Like,
want to. There's a gray
Right.
area. It
Yes,
has-
right.
So
I wish it was
technically you
24
can't.
hours.
The drone can't go up to find your wounded deer. You find it alive, and you go in there and try to shoot him again. The drone can't fly again and find him again.
Yeah,
You
the
go chase
second
him again.
drone flight is illegal.
Jeez,
the
that's
first
a
one
big
is
spider.
not. Is that mouse getting closer?
That's a
That's
spider.
a big spider the size of the mouse.
Oh, wow.
He ate the mouse.
So what's up next? What creature's coming in here?
Hold on,
next?
I got a story to tell before we get on the next topic. So Jake Bush, we all probably know who that is. Big time public land guy, kills some big deer from time to time. He actually publicly talked about this, I think, on one of his podcasts. He had, back when he was, I don't know, 3 for 3 on killing booners on public, he had guys following him with drones through public land trying to figure out where he was hunting.
How messed up
Did
is
you ever
that?
figure out where he was hunting?
Yeah, I don't own
Well,
one of those
I do
drones.
know that the guy that used to work with the hunting beast and doesn't anymore, like it was like Dan's right hand man.
I can't remember his name, but I know who
He
you're
had like
talking
a
about.
baby face kind of.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah,
Rentmeister.
Joe Reetmeister.
Yeah.
He said that when he would leave his house in the mornings, there'd be 4 or 5 cars. I heard
That's
on a
why he
podcast.
stopped, right?
Yeah, there'd be 4 or 5 cars parked on the street that would just follow him to his next hunting spot. And then it also happened to Zach Farrenball from THP. Like people were just waiting outside his house to follow him to his wherever he was going. Imagine being that small of a human being.
Dude, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like,
why I
we get made-
intentionally
we get made fun
hunt
of for-
small deer.
Well, it's funny because like we get made fun of for not leaving our property, and on the flip side, you have people that follow celebrities around
Yeah,
with drones.
you
Like,
just
that's
have-
insane.
You have guys that
It's insane.
come and fly drones and find deer. I mean,
It's
it's
insane.
It's the same. I put you on the same pedestal.
Oh, one thing to talk about while we're on what you talked about, Farrenball. I talk shit about them not releasing any elk hunting videos. And
They
stuff.
released like 20.
Yeah, like 20, and they were decent. They weren't exactly my.
He just released one today.
They weren't my flavor.
Have they
of-
killed one yet?
Jake killed one.
Okay.
They weren't my
favorite.
flavor
I love
of
Jake.
my flavor of deer hunt or of elk hunting film. Like they weren't super cinematic, and they weren't like a cool story. Like they were. It was literally just them hunting, and it showed them hunting, and like
You're not gonna bring.
hours and hours of it.
You're not gonna bring up your opinion on the matter.
On THP?
We talked about it in Kentucky.
I'll talk about it. I used to be a THP fanboy. I bought shirts, I bought hats,
Me
and
too.
I loved everything about it. Like they were
Oh,
so
you guys
cool.
are gay.
They were so cool when
well,
they came
hold
out.
on. Just wait.
But and he's been a guest on your podcast. There's not a chance he's listening to this, but I'll probably run into him sometime in my life. I just can't stand watching Zach Farrenball anymore. I'm sorry, Zach. If you ever listen to this podcast, you're gonna have a guy trashing you, but like you got to cut out the 5-year-old stuff. Like we're adults now. I can't watch it.
See, I'll give
the
it to him.
goofiness doesn't do it for me.
I've never met him, but I'll give it to him if that's his real personality. If it's not his real personality, he's just doing it for the videos and doing it for a laugh. I fucking hate it.
Listen, Aaron Warburton taking his stepson hunting and trying to be a top 5 hunter in the industry. I applaud you. Ted, you're just doing your thing, killing giants, wearing rusty camo.
Bucket hats.
I applaud you. Jake, you used to follow our social media. I don't know if you still do, but you're a Packers fan. You're from Wisconsin. You kill a bunch of deer at your deer camp and sleeping in a trailer with mice running on your face. I love you more than anything in the world. Greg, you're putting cinematic stuff out with your 27-foot camera lens and taking videos of butterflies. Awesome. Zach, please stop with the shtick. Just go out and hunt.
Yeah. If
So-
that's
Just go
his
on
real
that.
personality, that's okay. I like when people show their real. But if he's just doing
I'm turning
it
the
for
videos
laughs,
off when Zach's doing his thing. I'm turning the
Yeah.
video off.
Well,
it's
see,
tough.
even more so for me, because I will echo off of what Caleb said. I used to be a big THP fanboy, and I know Zach Farrenball personally. Like,
is that not him?
from what I've met of him and talked to him and spent some time with him, no, it's not him. But
Then he's doing it just to.
he does have a character that he plays with THP. He is the quote unquote goofy one. But the thing, I don't really
He's
care.
a great hunter.
I don't really care
So
about
dive into that,
the goofiness. Like, that doesn't bother me as much. What I hate, this is what I hate about his style of hunting. He blows out
Scorched earth.
Yeah.
I mean, wherever he goes, if Aaron was hunting the ridge that Zach Farrenball goes to, good luck, Aaron. You're never going to see a deer again for another 3 weeks.
I got a bunch of those guys on
Especially
camera.
during muzzleloader season.
With skullets and bald head and arrows knocked at noon. And gators. They're wearing gators.
So
September.
half the problem is how committed he is to hunting.
that style.
Like how committed he is to grinding, because he'll go grind out we get lazy. We grind out 2 ridges and blow them out.
And start drinking beer.
He'll go
We're
for
done.
he'll go for 2 weeks and he'll grind out an entire everything.
Well, look at it this way. This is something that we can sympathize with and we have experience with and our audience can have experience with. You go to the local church picnic. Zach is the guy that loads his plate, loads his plate up and has a ton of everything, sits in the front row, throws half of it away and leaves. Like, dude, really? Have some couth with the
and
public land.
So if I was hunting out west and I saw him at the trailhead, I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else because I know he's gonna.
Zach, I want to shake your hand because you're a celebrity now. Fuck you.
I know he's gonna beat me to every ridge, and he's gonna beat me on everything.
You know, with THP, like, this is perfect. Is like these are my next talking points. Thoughts on poachers and talking about them. What are you watching on YouTube? Who are you listening to? Who's your hunting hero? So this falls into all those categories.
One of mine fell hard this week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But
damn it.
So like with THP, they have access now. They would have access to private land where they could do all these things that they love and not totally screw the public. They could do their deer drives. They could do their things on private land because they have fanboys, tips, friends, family land, all the things. But when you do that on public land, you're sending a message that it's okay to leave it scorched earth. Terminate that.
The Ohio muzzleloader drive that irks me. I don't even hunt down there.
So here, I want to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So I personally have a buddy who hunts. Like I know, I didn't figure it. I don't want to pound my chest and say I know where they're hunting, but I have a buddy.
You're pretty good at that though.
Hunts.
You found us.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I do.
This is Ohio. There's not a lot to go around.
But what I'm getting at is like I know down to like a 5-mile block of where that they typically go. And my buddy that hunts down there said that since they started that muzzleloader drive 3 years ago or whatever, it has absolutely ruined the area from spot burning.
Because not only are
so
they
many
doing
people
it,
figure it out.
Yeah, they're doing it and blowing out the very limited area that is southern Ohio, basically.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot to go around. It's not like you're in Kansas or Iowa where there's unlimited public land. Like they're going in and doing it, and then hundreds of people watching on the internet are like, "Oh, we can do that," and they go do the same thing.
And I don't
hundreds. Those videos get like almost 1 million views.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people that actually go out and do it.
I don't think that THP had ill intent when they first started this. I really don't think that they had ill intent. I think they wanted to prove to people that, hey, you don't have to lease this or you don't have to buy that. There is public land, but they have, and you know, I'm sure if Aaron was sitting right there on that couch, he would admit it. They have spot burned so many places that like
they've kind of brushed around it in conversation.
It's
bit.
like they know what they've done. Like, and it's you can't take it back because forever it's on the internet.
I mean, they say they try not to, but when you get that many views, all it takes is one person being like
to recognize.
A lot of places I've only walked one time, but if I saw it in a video, I'd be like, I know exactly where that is. Yeah. And if you have hundreds of thousands of people seeing every single video, like people are going to figure that out. And then they talk and they talk.
We got called out on a video. We get a couple thousand views. It was a bear hunting video. Middle of Nowhereville, Montana. We didn't even see bears in this spot, but we had a fence, like a gate, back into National Forest land that had a little number on it, like 328 or I don't know the exact number. Somebody called us out on that.
Really, it gives it away?
I guess.
Someone called you out because of the vegetation in your Utah video. Did you see that?
That guy's full of shit.
Fuck that
He's
guy.
like, I'm a botanist or whatever. I'm like, yes, you could tell that we're in 12,000 feet of the high country hunting mule deer somewhere. Yeah. Obviously, that's the only place where these high country mule deer live. I think he was just fucking with us.
Probably.
Because I talk so much about not spilling the spot. That's why.
We're not huge public land hunters, but we've done enough of it in Southern Ohio when we were younger. There's spots I've watched in THP's videos where I've been like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, like I've been to that spot. We call it the one we call the high road. Like I've been there. Like, they're walking down this path, and I'm like,
so this is, you were just talking about how I'm good at finding spots. I have a pin. Excuse me, I bumped my mic. I have a pin of them turkey hunting. They killed a bird. And that was big when they were showing like the aerial of like on Onyx of like where they killed it. There was this little inside field corner on public that was just scrub brush. I found it within like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. You found us.
Yeah,
that's how. That's why you're sitting here.
That was easy to find you guys.
Yeah, you found us here. Is that what?
No, he watched one of our videos back in the day.
You were flying a drone over that
Seafield
food
plot.
plot that
Oh.
has the weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our field from the sky, it sticks
It's
out.
very
Yeah,
recognizable.
yeah. And I just got on Onyx and started scrolling. And I'm like, last name, field? Yep.
We used to worry about that a little bit, but now
We have
they want to come shoot a 120-inch deer. Come
yeah,
on.
they got a whole wall of 120-inch
There's
5-year-olds.
There's
guys.
50 people around our property trying to kill them.
Hey,
anyway.
speaking of THP, I just got a notification. Public land elk down.
Yeah, they're
Stalking a
in. They're
giant
into
herd.
rifle season now. I watched
Yeah.
the newest one this morning.
The deer stuff will be starting with them soon, I'm sure.
Oh, and they're killers, dude. Like
Yeah, they're
they've
killers.
They've already killed 2 big whitetail already, and
Ted's hunt last year with the 2 bucks is the best.
Aw.
That hunt was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I have like 100 more things I could talk about, but it's past 9 and we've already gone an hour and 20. And
So let's save the poaching stuff for a different podcast, because when we talk about poachers, I like doing that in its own podcast so we can kind of, alienate that.
I
in
was
its
going to
own-
bring, what I was, I was going to bring up your guys' your thoughts, and we can muddle it a tiny bit on, are we in the wrong now? Are we, as, the Deer Shot podcast, Siman Brothers Outdoors, whatever, are we in the wrong now for talking about poaching when it happens? Should we ignore it completely? Because like we have got some pretty heavy
because
shit.
there is a very popular podcast that has decided to not talk about it at all in order to.
And I don't disagree with that at all. I praise them for that. But at the same time, our podcast is more geared towards recent events and social stuff.
I mean, the only reason
we're not a tactics.
The only reason you
podcast.
guys got hate for it is because you called out other people for putting these people
No,
on a platform.
I called out the ODNR. To be fair, I said,
Caleb,
listen,
you like to stir the pot a lot.
But
though.
that's
I do.
but that's the only reason anything came back to you is because you had said, "Hey, quit parading around this buck."
But then their rebuttal, which was warranted.
I did not
was
ever
our-
have a problem with their rebuttal. They were right with their rebuttal.
their rebuttal was our largest podcast,
Yes.
our most viewed podcast ever. Was me and Caleb sitting here talking about a poacher. So
Yeah.
Nah, dude, send it.
But all we were doing was talking about current events. So I don't know.
I
agree-
just don't
I
really
agree with
like the
Aaron.
state. I don't know if I like the state almost like, well, and we've talked about it a little bit already. I'm not even going to say his name, but that podcast, like that person is now gloating about being who he is.
Well,
Shouldn't that be like his parole or whatever he's on? Shouldn't that be like a
and you know what
thing in his
frust-
parole that he can't try to
Profit
benefit
off of it? Yeah.
Well, dude, the guy that just shot a couple Kansas bucks, I just saw on his Instagram story he was like in a tree with a bow.
Well, I mean, I hate Chris Brackett. So, but I will say, and we haven't had a chance to talk. We haven't had a chance to talk about this. He
we
made
were
a
going to
post on,
kind of leave that one alone. I
yeah,
thought.
because he made a post on social media, and I know he likes to claim that he's autistic, and that's fine. I kind of felt bad for him. He made a post that made me feel like he was having some severe.
About?
He made a post about how he basically it was. I'm not going to
See,
say
it crossed the line for us because in our work, in our profession, we have to be somewhat of a mental health professional. Like we deal with
he
people
was saying,
in mental health
he
crises.
was saying things that was
like
going down the
suicidal?
road. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
Like we deal with these people on a daily basis, and so for us to poke fun at that, it kind of like crossed the line for us. We're like, oh shit, maybe we should talk.
like
about
when we're exchanging barbs, and not even that we're exchanging barbs, he just blocked us. So like he didn't even try to exchange barbs with us because we're a bunch of losers to him, and he just blocked us on social media. But he's a famous person and a famous poacher, and he goes on these things, so it's fun to throw jabs at him until he makes a statement that he doesn't give a fuck about anything anymore and doesn't even want to be
that
involved.
makes
Like,
the hair on the back of
yeah,
our
I'm
neck
like,
start standing
shit,
up.
like did we go too far? Not us, but
Was that the post?
public.
He said he just wants to hang out on his sweet farm with his hot wife.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
That made the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Here's the thing.
Because we've seen people do things with
So
saying a
yeah,
lot
what if he
less.
does something?
And we're sitting here talking about fuck Chris Brackett every podcast.
Here's the thing. I know that everybody has different views morally sitting at this table, whatever. I am an open Christian. I have a wonderful relationship with Christ. It is wrong to do that morally to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So as a Christian, I would say that we shouldn't do what you guys were doing with Chris. Now, if he offs himself, is it your fault? No, it's not your fault because he's never going to listen to it. But it's the principle of like
Right.
we need to be better people, and that's all I'm going to say.
That was the hair on the back of our neck. We're like, dude,
That's what's talking
It's
in the
all
back
fun
of
and
our head.
games when you're face to face with someone, and not that we were face to face with them, but when he's making professional statements and we're making professional statements,
Yeah, we're peers at that point.
Yeah, he's got a podcast, we got a podcast. He's going on podcasts. Everyone's laughing, joking, and like talking shit is one thing. But then when he feels so much heat that he has to make a post about not feeling well mentally about it, it's like whoa, like
It gets real.
Whoa,
Yeah.
like,
And then
too much.
exactly what you're saying is, yeah, maybe we were definitely wrong for saying that thing. Like when it becomes real is when it becomes.
So we should probably no longer say fuck Chris Brackett. Just Chris Brackett, screw you, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit less.
No, I mean, you do whatever you want. I don't encourage it.
Yeah,
I just don't. I have a hard time. I have a very hard time with him trying to regain the public's trust and then crying that he doesn't have it, because there's 4 people sitting at this table that are never going to do what he did. I can say that for myself no matter what. Like I'm passing turkeys because they're 5 feet over the property line. I watched a video where Matt passed a booner because it was 10 feet over a property line.
Yep.
Like we're that anal about poaching animals on camera and with our platform and with what we're doing. Like we're not bending those lines. So, and he had no problem doing that.
Yep.
And now he wants to get back
He
into
wants to
graces.
relive in
So
the
that's what
glory
I have
days.
I have a problem with that. But to take it as far maybe as we have, like, yeah, Isaac's right.
it's very-
Isaac's right, Matt's right.
It's
like,
very unchristian of us to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably be better about that.
Well, why don't we say our piece here? You know, you both have admitted to it. Like, let's just move on. Let's talk about the next topics that you had.
Well, one last thing. Me and Caleb talked about after that post came out that we did feel bad and that we were gonna stop talking about it because of that.
Well,
So this could be the final. We're sorry.
Well,
Chris. Yeah.
here's the thing. If you felt bad about it, then obviously your conscience was feeling a little heavy, and that's a good sign. You know what I mean? Like you knew that you were in the wrong, and you're man enough to admit it, and that's all you got to say.
And it goes.
I've admitted a lot of things.
It goes from peers talking shit to us being
yeah.
like feeling bad for the
No, I get
situation
it,
now.
and I respect that.
Proud of you guys.
Yeah.
You're getting soft.
I'm shooting 3-year-olds
Yeah, now
over
you're shooting
corn piles,
3-year-olds.
and I'm a fan of
And
Chris Brackett
apologizing.
now.
You're gonna be painting your face before season.
Isaac, you got to take that pink phone off the table. I can't have
this
that
is
in the video.
temporary phone.
We can finish this up because we've done plenty. Like the other topics I had, what bow arrow setups you guys rocking? Matt, you're going to film again this year. Would you shoot a good buck opening day or wait? Heavy arrows, speed arrows, public or private land better? Where would you buy if you could buy anything you wanted? We've talked about that plenty. And Isaac wanted us to bring it up, and that's the last thing.
I didn't want to bring it up. I thought.
No,
Which one?
heading west.
Oh yeah. So
When are you guys hunting elk?
I was going to ask when you two in particular, because you're in kind of similar points in your life. I would say you both have young kids, and I think you've said before that you wanted to do this stuff first and then maybe head west. But like the time was always tomorrow to head west. Do you guys have any plans
I
soon?
tell you what, I'm not getting any younger, so
Man, I
Word on that.
I see it a lot of different ways. I'm so ate up with whitetail. I could see going my whole life and just not doing it. But I always said I would do it. And like you said, I'm not getting any younger. But I feel like every person that I know that goes out there, they go out there, they see 1 or 2 elk. They might hear a bugle, and then
Well,
the pressure
it's
hits, and then they
miserable.
shut up.
Yeah.
And then they can't wait to go back the next year after they saw one raghorn.
It's that guy
bull.
right there, dude.
And
He shoots and misses the raghorns.
I know how hard just deer hunting is, even locally, and I know the odds of success are so low. So for me, being from Ohio to drive out west, and I want to spend time doing something I think I'll actually be able to have a decent chance at. But I have been buying points in all these different states in hopes that whenever I do decide to do it, I'll be able to do it in a little bit better place,
So,
hopefully.
The one thing I'll say about that is East Meets West podcast guy. I think his name is Bo.
Bo.
Yes.
Martauk.
Martonic.
He says to hunt with an outfitter or hunt with somebody that knows what they're doing first. So the problem with your strategy is you might draw a freaking awesome tag in an awesome spot and not know what the hell you're doing.
Well, I'll get the outfitter in that awesome spot. It'll be double good.
Okay.
So here's my opinion on the matter. I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where as much as I wish I could pound my chest and say I'm He-Man, I don't think the DIY thing is something that I would want to do. Because I'm at a stage in my life where I'm in my early 30s. I have kids, or a kid, I should say. In a couple of years from now, I will have kids. My wife and I are talking about having another. It's just common sense. For me to go out there and DIY and to be successful, it's like what, 0.1%?
Ask the man right there. 'Cause he's
so
the king of it.
So then I'm going to spend all this money and all this time and all this effort for 6 years for one opportunity at a raghorn, where I could spend half of that money, go on a guided hunt, and
have a good experience.
Have a good experience. And I just, I used to think that when I was immature and I used to think that big money, oh, that guy's got big money, he's going on a guided hunt.
It's comparable.
I feel like if
Gas alone.
if you've worked hard enough in your life to have the means to go on a guided hunt, go on a guided hunt, man.
Price wise,
cares?
it's not that big of a difference between do it yourself and guided because of the little things you have to spend when you're doing it the do it yourself way.
The tent and the
everything, just gear, knowledge. And then obviously the success rate is way lower. My problem is I dip my toes in it, and now it's like a personal goal that I can't take the easier way now.
Yeah.
Because I've dipped my toes in it. I've been so close. I've been successful on mule deer, on bear, so close to elk that now that's the last little hurdle.
Well,
you ever going to go elk hunting again?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah. I will say, obviously my life has changed a lot. Not as much as your guys. You guys already have kids. I'm planning on having kids.
How old are you?
32.
Okay.
It makes it a lot tougher, but I'm also getting closer and closer towards retirement.
You're 32?
Yeah.
God.
So I'm getting closer and closer towards retirement years, and hopefully older kids at that point. And that'll be another time for me to dive into it. So 15 years from now, when I'm 50 or 40 something,
16.5 for me.
All of the. So I shouldn't even say all. I have an older gentleman that I kind of look up to as like a hunting mentor or something.
Do we meet him?
Murr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we met
forgot.
Yeah, we met him.
So Murr
Had an awesome time.
Yeah, Murr always tells me that.
That's what I say when I'm about to shoot a buck. Mer.
He's the only born again guy that's ever drank a beer with us.
Murr always tells me to just go on the hunt. Like, he always tells me, because he's lived that life. He's been to Newfoundland. He's been out west. He's done all this, and he regrets not doing it more as a young person.
He saw more deer than all of us on that hunt.
He's good, man. I mean, he was
hunting on the ground too.
He's a 60-year-old man that just has been doing it his whole life.
He saw more deer than all of us.
I know it.
But I would say if you guys are waiting to make the leap, I would just make a leap. Go on a week-long elk hunt.
So
spend the $600 for a Colorado
Kevin
tag and
just
just
did.
go.
I don't think I would dive into an elk hunt. I think if I went out there, it'd be a rifle, antelope, or a mule deer hunt first,
My first
just to dip my toes.
Antelope's
my first
lame.
was archery, but the
think?
first year I went for a rifle mule deer, and that was super fun.
Yeah. And even if I went elk hunting, I'll be the first one to say it. I think I'd take a rifle because, for one, I don't know what I'm doing. And for me to pound my chest and say, I'm going to go out there and stick one with the bow, it's like, I've never done it before. I mean, I'm going to definitely take a weapon that, and I'm, not the bloat or anything, but I'm a decent shot, kind of like you, Isaac. Like, if you get me prone
Better than me.
on a decent, if I got a decent, base or whatever, and like 400 or 500 yards, I'm not afraid to take that shot.
You get me prone 500 yards or less, and I'm making that shot.
Yeah, same.
And my next elk hunt may be a rifle hunt. I don't know. I've been leaning that direction because in my life, I have less time, less money to put towards it. So a week-long rifle hunt sounds better than a month-long bow hunt.
And here's another thing I kind of want to bring up is I know the two guys sitting to my left have definitely experienced this or felt this. Once you start having kids, you almost feel bad or guilty that you're away from home. For the first time that I was in Kentucky, I felt guilty that I was out there tracking around for a weekend because my wife is at home with my 3-month-old. And I don't know. I feel like morally, if you're a good person and a good husband and a good father, you're going to want to do that trip that has the higher success rate because you can't spend 2 weeks in the bush.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Because you want to go out there and kill. And my goals for Ohio and Kentucky or Indiana or wherever I go this year, my goals are to get in there, kill as fast as I can, and go home. And that's why I kind of said what I said in the beginning of the podcast with I'm going to hunt behind my house. Of course, I'm not going to shoot a 160 because there's none back there. I might not even shoot a 140 because there's none back there.
We know the feeling.
But, the first decent mature buck, like that Ethan talked about, Caleb, if a buck comes in and he's doing mature buck things, he's probably going to get shot behind my house. And, and if I don't kill behind my house, I might do a week-long rut hunt on public, and the same thing. First 130 or 120 or whatever that walks by that's doing buck things is probably going to get shot. And I'm going to feel fantastic about it because now I can go home, spend time with my wife, hang out with my kid, because I'm developing more of a mature look on this, and it's like that's more important to me right now than killing Bambi.
So is doing a guided Western hunt more acceptable than doing an outfitted whitetail hunt?
I would say yes.
Why?
Because I think everybody
Because I
knows,
hate whitetail outfitters and they're all gay.
I agree.
I think everybody knows how to. Well, I shouldn't say everybody knows how to whitetail hunt, but you can go hunt whitetail anywhere.
But a guy coming
Ethics
from
are a sliding scale.
an elk
So,
hunter
like,
coming
you-
from Idaho to do a guided whitetail hunt, that's more acceptable than a dude that lives down the street going to.
Possibly the greatest whitetail hunter in this nation lives in Idaho.
Who?
I know who you're talking
Scrape man.
Yes.
Buck
Fever Synthetics.
Is it Porter?
Nope.
Pottinger, Troy.
Pottinger.
Troy Pottinger.
about. I was just using.
I mean,
that
literally,
as an
that
example.
dude kills a 170 public land buck without bait
Okay.
every single year.
No. He does bait.
Does he?
Yes.
Does he?
Yes. And I
Wow.
swear he baits.
Are you allowed? I don't know.
Yes.
Idaho.
So he runs hay.
Okay. You know what? I think I've heard
He
that.
admitted that in one of his podcasts. He slipped up and he said, "Well, I'm just running it to keep the does around."
I think
So it's not just the
you know what?
scrapes?
I
No.
remember that.
He
He was
runs-
on. He was on Hunter.
He runs hay.
Yeah.
So this is a whole nother podcast
Wow.
topic, but I'll just say
Yep.
it. The difference is the gap between public hunters and private hunters in the West is so much bigger than it is here when it comes to
What do you
ease
mean?
and trophies. There's private hunters shooting 400-inch elk every year
Gotcha.
opening weekend like
Gotcha.
it's nothing
Because
on
they
alfalfa
have
pivots
because they have the ground.
that a public hunter 5 miles away could never see those elk in that capacity ever. Like that gap is so big when it comes
Well,
to
I mean, I feel like the whitetail world's going that direction.
it is. It definitely is going that direction.
It's going to be a rich man's sport before we know it. It already is.
I'll say it way already is.
Yeah.
Troy
Oh,
Pottinger.
rewind
also,
that. I missed it.
No. Troy Pottinger also is a believer in the Rumpala buck. Like he was on the Deer Hunter podcast. Remember talking about he had that as like 4-part. It was a Deer Hunter podcast, right?
I don't know.
Your buddy had the 4-part.
No,
on the Rumpala.
Aaron Olson.
He's Aaron Olson.
Why did I say that?
Aaron Olson's right here in the flesh.
I'm a little confused.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's Aaron Blicey.
What's his podcast called?
The Fall.
The Fall.
That's why.
So there was a 4. I
two
thought it was
Aarons.
a Deer Hunter podcast. Regardless,
No.
there's a 4-part Mitch Rumpala podcast, and Pottinger was a guest on one of them. And the entire time he was on there, he's like, "Yeah, the dude's 100% legit. The deer is real. He killed it over a scrape. He's the greatest hunter in the world, just like me." Like he went full bore.
so real
they used
quick.
to write each other letters, like handwritten letters.
Dude, so real quick, I'm from Traverse City.
I know that's. I've been trying to
Yeah,
get.
let's get your.
I've been
opinion.
trying to get
So
you to
I
talk
don't-
about. You said you wouldn't talk about it.
I don't
when
I don't really
asked you.
have an opinion on the matter, but
Yes, you do.
my dad's a fisheries biologist up there. My dad's buddies with one of the COs up there, and my dad saw like at the time like printed out pictures of the buck the day after it was supposedly shot from the CO that saw it the day that it was shot, and they all said it's legit. So I asked my dad today on the phone, just coincidentally. I was like, "So you think it's real?" And he said, "I think so. The guy is, hardcore. He'd quit all his jobs and he'd just hunt all fall." And
So we're gonna drop this bombshell. We need to revisit this.
I mean, that's all I got.
This needs to
I
be a whole.
want-
That's all
This
I
needs to
got.
be a whole topic.
Like a year ago when we barely knew each other, I asked Aaron, I'm like, "Dude, how about you come over tonight and let's podcast about the Mitch Rumpala buck?" He's like, "Pass." He's like, "I ain't doing it." But I'm gonna get him to
I
talk
just
about
don't have
it.
a whole lot to say about
it is
it.
such a hot topic. If we could find more people that know something
So here-
about
here-
But
it,
there's been so many things.
Here's
said
my
about
thing.
it.
Why didn't he get it X-rayed? If it's legit, if I killed a 200-inch not or
Take
excuse
it.
me, typical,
Do
Take
everything.
it.
Bless
That's
Maybe
what
he
I'm
got
saying.
paid off to do it, to not do
I know.
it.
Well,
the
that's
Milo
the rumor.
Hansen
Milo
buck.
gave him
Yeah.
some money to shut the fuck up about it, but
Yeah, but only because he was claiming he had the world record.
That
Which
gives him $100,000. That makes a big difference to a guy up there.
what
also
did
went
it
to
score?
218, 220 net,
Net.
something like that. Yeah,
That's all
there's
I
been a
got.
lot talked about at the Roundtable, but I'm
All
glad.
right.
I'm glad I finally got that out of you. But yeah, we're gonna end it.
Yeah,
we're
let's
gonna, we're
wrap
gonna
it
kid
up.
it.
I wanted
We're
to
gonna
wrap.
kill
I
it.
wanted to wrap it up with what Matt said about family and stuff because that was a good ending.
It was
but-
perfect because I'm feeling like every day is a new day and
Dude,
like
I'm a
more
sap.
and more and more like I'm just not too worried.
You almost just said Born Again's outro then. Every day is a new day.
Well, I'm just saying like no, but seriously like
I'll take it away.
we don't know the age on these deer.
Yeah.
We're trying to kill mature bucks, do mature buck things. Sometimes we're using a little bit of corn. Fuck it.
There you go.
Let's just kill some deer this year,
There's
guys.
an ending.
yeah, and we're gonna be nicer to people,
Yeah.
I love
especially in today's climate. Nicer. To
love
people.
Chris, if you ever do listen, sorry I made you feel sad. Sorry, job. Couldn't take the ball busting, I
it.
guess.
I love it. I love it. Hey,
All
we're
right.
all maturing, and I love
Yeah.
it.
Deer Shot Podcast, episode 111.
111.
We are out. Thanks for listening.
Peace.